Welcome to the London Aquatics Centre back there in 2012. Held the Olympics here for the 2025 Aquatics GB Swimming Championships live. Some fantastic racing for you here this morning, starting off with the women's 50 metres breaststroke, but we've got also women's 200 metres freestyle with a world champion in that, world 200, 400 medley champion. We've got men's breaststroke, but no PT. That's fascinating. Also, the men's 400 metres freestyle is up second after that breaststroke. And then, of course, we've got Laura Stevens, world champion on the 200 metres freestyle, going at 10:46 that event. Some cracking races, 5 for you this morning. Delighted to be joined as well by two-time Olympic finalist in the men's 1500 metres freestyle. It is Dan Jervis.
Hi, Andy. I'm very, very much looking forward to this today.
It's very exciting. I've got to say, I think it's your first time in the commentary box, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've never done this before. Usually I'm in the water, and today I'm watching the water.
Yeah, fantastic. Can't wait to have the dulcet tones and the knowledge and the experience of Dan coming through over these next 6 days. We've got some cracking races for you, and of course it is it's a World Championship trials, the World Championships for able-bodied in Singapore in the summertime, and also for the Paralympics. It's also selection for their World Championships in Singapore. It's the selection meet for the European Junior Championships, the European Under-23 Championships. From that, they'll be selecting the World Junior team. And then, of course, the European Youth Olympic Festival is also being selected here. So, huge amount for these swimmers to go for. So, Dan, anything particular you're looking forward to this week?
Well, this morning I'm looking forward to watching the men's 400 freestyle. We have some amazing experienced swimmers. We have Kieran Bird, obviously we have James Guy, but I'm also looking forward to seeing the men's 100 breaststroke. Now, Great Britain, we obviously have a very good track record of 100 breaststroke. We're not seeing Petey compete this week, but we have Greg Butler, we have Archie Goodburn, and I'm looking forward to see what they can do this week.
Well, so am I, and first race up is this women's breaststroke, and of course it is a trial for both the para swimmers as well as the able-bodied swimmers, and many of the para swimmers going in the first heats. In fact, in lane number 9 we've got Ellie Chalice, world record holder in the 50 breaststroke for the SB2s, but that of course not a world championship event, so she's got to swim up in the SB3s. Very tough qualifying she's got to do. The para swimmers can do the qualification time in the heats as well as the final. Able-bodied only in the evening session, the A or the B finals. Closest to us will be Ellie Chalice, the SB2 swimmer. Fastest seed in lane number 4 is Megan Mills of York City Baths. 5 is Lily Harris of University of Surrey. 50 breaststroke.
Take your marks.
So the first event, and everybody really watching very carefully the starter, listening to the start here. So up and at it, and right in the centre there, the orange hat maybe had the fastest start, possibly up there in lane number 2, Emma Alat-File of Guildford City. She's going very well indeed down this first 25-30 metres, the first heat of women's 50 metres breaststroke. 9 heats in total, and still going very well up there in lane 1 is Emma Arat-File of Guildford. Looks like she's going to get the touch. She does. 33.2. Well, that's the new season's best for her. 33.9 was her season's best, so 0.7 of a second inside of that. Very good indeed. So Emma Alat-File wins it. Second was Amelia Denham, and right at the bottom of your picture, just coming into the picture now, we will have Ellie Chalice, the SB2 swimmer. Here she is, world record holder for the SB2 category, outstanding swimmer, but the qualification's so tough. It's not a world championship event, this 50. It is for SB3s, so she can swim up, but she's got to go a world record to do that. Great swim from her, 1:13.67. Well, that, a very, very good swim indeed. Just outside of her season's best, but an excellent swim from her. And as the only para swimmer in this event, she will be in the final this evening. So we'll just get the results in a second, but really good swim from Emma Alat-File there in lane number 1, the Guildford City swimmer. 4th at the in the junior final at the trials. She's in the white hat. So first race always very interesting, nerves all over the place. It's fascinating to watch the starter and just get the feel of the timing. We'll talk to Dan about that in a second. But, well, maybe we can do it right now, Dan. A lot of the swimmers on that first start, just watching the timing, just to make sure that they can understand how the starter does the starts.
Absolutely, you know, it's not the same starter every competition, so every starter, some are quite quick and some are slow. Now, 2 seconds might not seem a lot of time, but when you're on the block and you're fully focused on the race, it can seem like a lifetime.
So there's the result of Heat 1. Emma Allett-File of Guildford wins it, 33.2. Great season's best for her. Denham's second, Mills third, Robbins fourth, and Jenkins fifth. And the SB2 swimmer, Ellie Chalice, she'll be in the final this evening of the Paralympic events. So there's 9 heats in total of this women's 50 metres breaststroke. I'm delighted to say, and I'm actually really excited about it, it is now a new Olympic event. They've just announced 50s fly back and breast in the Olympics to join the freestyle. While it wasn't done ages ago, I don't know. Here's Heat 2 of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Fastest seed is Megan Pye of Norwich in lane 4. Eleanor Hall of Milford in 5. Those two, the fastest seeds in 4 and 5. Really good starts down one lane from the bottom here. The Black Cat of Katie Stubbs in lane number 8.
Yeah, these girls are looking really good, very good dive, and breaststroke is the only stroke out of all 4 of them that you can't do multiple fly kicks underwater. So,
well, she had a good start. She has allowed 1 big kick underwater, going well up there in lane 2. There's lane 0 at the top, then 1, then 2, so it's 3 from the top up there. It is Mary Gibson of City of Cardiff. She's gone well, and she's gone 33.14, and that's a new lifetime best by 0.7 of a second. Well done, Mary. Well, a Welsh swimmer there.
Absolutely, I was proud of that.
I was expecting you to be doing cartwheels now, Dan.
I am, but I got to be careful. I'm on commentary today, Andy.
Totally partial, of course, but great swim there from Mary. Really good. She sort of built it up through that 50.
Yes, definitely. She looked very strong in that, and yeah, looks exciting.
She did very well. Mary Gibson, City of Cardiff, wins it, 33.1. New lifetime best from her. Megan Pye second. Third was Eleanor Hall, and fourth, Katie Stubbs of Ashington. First 4 sub 34 seconds. And Heat 3 of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Phoebe McNicholas of City of Sheffield, the fastest seed. Lee Mundell of Heart of Midlothian, second fastest seed in lane 5.
Take your marks.
So a very young heat indeed. There's 2 15-year-olds, 3 17-year-olds. The 2 15-year-olds in lanes 3 and 5 here. That's Sophie King in 3. In 5, it's Lily Mundell of Heart of Midlothian.
Yeah, that was a good start from all the girls. Again, it was interesting watching lane 6, Amy McLeod. Then she came up quite quick after the dive, and I always found that I'd like to dive and be under the water for quite a long time, as long as you don't pass the 50.
Exactly. Well, on breaststroke, of course, you can go as far as you like, but only one pull allowed. And there we go. It looks like lane 7 wins it, does she? Very close indeed. Lane 1 actually got it. Gracious me, that was close. Lauren Kenner of Millfield, very good swim indeed again, 33.58. New lifetime best from her. So the last 2 heats, 1 in lifetime best and a season's best winning Heat 1. And we have seen an awful lot of this at these major championships, certainly the trials last year. Every single Heat 1 in a lifetime's best, certainly a season's best.
Yes, that is very exciting.
So Lauren Kenner of Millfield wins it. New lifetime best from her, 33.58. Gussie second, Mundell third, King and Nicholas in 4th and 5th. So Heat 4 of 9 heats of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Fastest seed in lane number 4. It's Anna Farr of Ellesmere College, a gold medalist at the Summer Championships on the 100 breaststroke. Also a medalist on the 200 as well in the 17-year-olds. Only 7th on the 50, that's interesting. She's fastest seed in lane 4. That's the City of Sheffield swimmer. In lane 3, that's Annabelle Cook.
Take your marks.
Heat 4, women's 50 metres breaststroke. 9 heats in total, and Anna Farr, the 17-year-old. Good start right in the centre. Also very good is the red hat in lane 5 of Colleen Devlin.
Yep, Anna Farr in the GB Summer Championships last year. She came 7th overall, and she'll be looking to get further up that leaderboard this week.
And she certainly will, and closest to us actually is a 14-year-old, Josephine Lawn of Bromley. Amazing 14-year-old, wonderful 9/100 split the whole field. There's going to be a little bit more here. Right at the top there, Ruby Stevenson of City of Milton Keynes. Great swim from her. 33.29 I think she's got there, so that's another 0.3 of a second lifetime best from the swimmer from City of Milton Keynes, right at the top there. And well, lane assignments here in the heats, Dan, would you prefer to be in an outside lane on a 50 or in a middle lane?
Well, I was a distance swimmer, Andy, so I've never really done 50s, but I guess I'd probably like to be in the middle. I always like to be centre lane.
Right in the thick of it.
Right in the thick of it, yeah.
I used to love watching those 1500 metres freestyles that you did. Right on scrapper you were. Here we go, there's heat 4. 50 metres breaststroke for women. Ruby Stevenson, new lifetime best, wins it. Great swim from her. Josephine Lawn 2nd. Farr 3rd. And Gabriella Hunt of City of Liverpool, 33.8 in 4th. Right on her lifetime best. Great swim from her. So heat 5 of 9 of the women's 50 breaststroke. Annalise Elford of Whitney and District is the fastest seed in 4. In lane 5, one lane closer to us would be Ella Greatbatch of Bishop Stortford. 17-year-old Cardiff swimmer, City of Cardiff. Gwendolyn Evans in lane 8.
Take your marks.
Well, with only 0.25 of a second splitting the whole field, this is likely to be very close indeed. It's heat 5 of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. And when you can't spin it, you've got to make sure you hold good water on this 50 breaststroke.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm watching the swimmers now. I can see a lot of them are quite high out of the water, which is great because that gives them momentum when they push back into the next stroke.
It certainly does, and great proponent of that stroke technique that Dan just talking about up there in lane number 1. Of course, 0 at the top. 0 is Lily Green of Mount Kelly, and in 1 is Anna Finlay. Looks like Anna's just got it. Yes, she has. A 1 and 2 in lanes 1 and 0. 33.09. It's getting very close indeed to that 33-second barrier, and a new lifetime best for Anna Finlay. Excellent swim from her. And Lily Green as well, Mount Kelly, 15-year-old, super swim from her. Gold medalist at the National Age Group Championships last year in the 13-14s on the 100 breaststroke. This is the 50, and she's gone lifetime best at World Championship trials. Well done, Lily Green. Finlay wins it. Green 2nd, lifetime best from both of them certainly. Greatbatch 3rd, Evans 4th. Heat 6, last of the uncycled seeded heats in the women's 50 metres breaststroke. And Kira Fletcher of Nova, she's got a lifetime best of 31.9, season's best of 33.1 this year. Interesting to see how she goes, right in the centre. She's in lane 4.
Take your marks.
So the last of the uncycled seeded heats, and a really good start in lane 5. Fabulous start underwater there. Super underwater pull from Isabella Cameron.
Absolutely. I was watching that dive then, and Isabella Cameron really did come up quite a distance ahead of the other swimmers. And as you can see in lane 2 is really pulling through now. Very strong.
Well, she certainly is very strong. Nice fast turnover. The red hat there, 3 from the top. That is lane 2. Also going well in this last 25 metres is Caitlin Hartley of University of Bath. I think she gets the touch. She does in lane 1. 2nd from the top there, 33.06. They're getting closer and closer to that 33-second barrier, but again another lifetime best by a full 10th of a second. It doesn't sound a lot, but a 10th on a 50, Dan, makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
10th could make the difference between first place and 10th place, especially in a 50.
And some of these heats, we've only had 9 100s on the seed time, split the whole lot. But there, Caitlin Hartley from Bath University wins it, new lifetime best, 33.06. And then Kira Fletcher of Nova second. So the first of the cycle seeded heats. So the fastest swimmers now will be in the centre lanes. Jasmine Carter, the European junior silver medalist from last year in this 50 metres breaststroke. She goes in 4. In 5, Theodora Taylor, also a European junior silver medalist in the 200 breaststroke and bronze in the 100. 2 16-year-olds in 4 and 5. Wow.
Take your marks.
2 European medalists in 4 and 5 juniors. This is great to see. And we're a really good start. Probably a slightly better start of the 2 superstar juniors in lane 5, Theodora Taylor.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting on this 50 to watch Jasmine and Theodora fight this out. Theodora won the 50, 100 and 200 breast last year. Summer champs.
Yes, she did. And Jasmine Carter of Basel and Phoenix, coached by Doug Campbell there, the 16-year-old in the orange hat in the centre. Looks like maybe in lane 6, is it going to take it just about there? Amelia Riggett second, 25 on that 50, really good, 31.61. And Amelia's lifetime best was 31.87. So again, it's lifetime best every single time they swim here. And Riggett of Mount Kelly, great swim from her, 4th in the 50 breaststroke at the Summer National Championships last year. Now comes and wins the first of the seeded heats in this women's 50 metres breaststroke, heat 7. So Riggett wins it, new lifetime best. Theodora Taylor second, Crowley third, Carter 4th, and it's going to be very tight indeed to make this final. Heat 8, second last heat of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Fastest seed in 4 is Anna Morgan of Edinburgh, with Hannah Capron of Repton in lane 5.
Take your marks.
Well, there are a couple of international swimmers here at this championships. They can swim in the heats, but as it's a trial for Great Britain, not allowed to progress through the finals. Bulgarian in lane 3, so she won't be able to progress.
Yeah, well, actually, Camilla will be trying to make the GB team this year. So she's Bulgarian, but she will be trying to compete for Great Britain this year.
Aha. Actually, I think they've just changed the rules on qualification. I think it's now only 1 year that you have to sit out before you can swim for another country. This is a great swim indeed from Anna Morgan, though, from Edinburgh University. Super swim. So Anna wins it, 31.5. That's the fastest time we've seen so far. Just outside of her season's best and lifetime best of 30.9. But that's a really good, solid heat swim from Anna in lane number 4 to win the second last heat. So Anna wins it in 31.50, won it by half a second. That's quite a lot on the 50 breaststroke. Stoimanova second, third was Miles, Imogen Miles, and 4th the Beavers of Mount Kelly. So the final heats of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. My word, that's a quick through this first event. It really is. Heat 9 of 9 of the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Cara Hanlon in 4 and 5. It's Sienna Robinson. There's Cara Hanlon in the centre in lane number 4. Won the Olympic trials last year in the 200 breaststroke.
Take your marks.
So the final heat to the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Hanlon in 4, Sienna Robinson in 5, Emily Farr in 6. And looking forward to seeing what Cara Hanlon can do here.
Absolutely. So Cara just missed out on Paris qualification last year, but she will definitely probably use that to boost her for this year. And the 50 breaststroke has just been added to the Olympic programme, so we'll be excited to see if she changes her training.
Well, there's been quite a new focus now, hasn't there, in terms of this 50 metres flyback and breast added to the Olympics in LA. I wonder how many swimmers are going to be changing the way that they do train. Great swim from Cara Hanlon, 31.1. Well, that's the fastest time that we've seen so far by 0.4 of a second. That's a really good swim from her, just outside of her lifetime best, but very good. So that'll stick her in a centre lane for the finals this evening. Just on the left-hand side there, University of Edinburgh teammate, Katie Goodburn. Goodburn coming, I think, 4th, just about there, 32.06. It's mighty close for these final spots. Look at that, 32.06 may well make it. There's a decent chance. I'm not sure how many 31s there've been, but that's going to stick her right on the cusp of making it through, and 4th from one heat going through. That will be very interesting indeed. So let's see, Katie Goodburn, 32.06. What's made it through? Well, we don't have the qualifiers. Well, I can tell you that she's actually just finished in 10th position, and she's only 4/100ths outside of qualifying. Jasmine Carter getting the 8th place there with 32.0, so they're all between 31.1 and 32.02. 32.03 just missed out. There we go. So 31.1, Cara Hanlon fastest seed. 2 Edinburgh swimmers, 1 and 2, with Mount Kelly in 3rd. But look how close it was, 8th, 9th and 10th. 32.02, 32.03, 1/100th. And Katie Goodburn, 4/100ths back from qualifying. Amazingly tight that was. It just shows all the little tiny pieces on the starts, the breakouts, everything down. So important to make the final, the 50s.
Absolutely, and anything can happen in the final when the adrenaline's running and the atmosphere, which will be big tonight. Anything can happen. 8th place can come first easily.
Did you find that the atmosphere on the heats and the finals were massively different? So I know it is different, but did you get a big rush from the finals that you didn't in the heats, or were you always ready to go whatever?
I always did. Obviously, when you're swimming, your head's underwater, so you can't really hear anything. But I liked to use the atmosphere before I actually dived in the water. So when I was in Marsh and I could hear it, yeah, I think it makes a big difference.
Well, those finals this evening are going to be fantastic, and Aquatics GB done a super job here of setting up this championships. It really is a wonderful meet to come and watch. There's a huge crowd here, I've got to say. I'm just looking behind me. There are quite a few thousand just for the heats here. So please come and join us for the finals this evening if you can. And all week there's going to be an awful lot of fabulous swimmers, Olympic champions, both in able-bodied and, well, I think the Paras had the best Paralympic event that they've had for a good long time. I think it's possibly since '92. I'll check the facts there, but it's Paris Olympics for the para swimmers was extraordinary. Lots of world record holders and world champions and Paralympic champions here. 400 freestyle, Dan, you're a distance freestyler. What are you looking for here on this 400 metres freestyle?
Well, 400 freestyle is all about pacing. Now, you can't go too slow at the start because it's a rapid race, but you don't want to go too fast too early on.
Well, you certainly don't. In the first heat, again, it is fully integrated here at these Aquatics GB 2025 championships, and all 4 of these swimmers are Paralympians. And in lane 3 we've got Max Davis of Worksop. He's an S9, an S8, excuse me. And then we've got Lewis Jones of Aaron Trident's in lane 4 is an S9. Also an S9 is Jamie Curtis of City of Bristol. And then Bruce D is an S6. And lane number 6 for Northampton. And the way it works is you have to swim against your own time. In fact, here's me explaining, and I think I've got a bit of a superstar joining me, Mr. Noble, 15 times Paralympic medalist. I think 4 times gold medalist. Is that right?
That's right. Oh, you give me the big build-up now, Andy. That's good. I like it.
I was just trying to explain how the point system works and how these swimmers get through the finals. Do you want to just give us a quick heads up on how it all works?
Yeah. Well, classification code says S1 to 10 for those with physical impairments, S11 to 13 those with visual impairments, and we also have the intellectual impaired athletes in the S14 classification. So the times for the swimmers will be compared against a standard time for their own classification, which is roughly equivalent to a world record time. It's not always equivalent to the world record time. There might be a recent world record set, or sometimes the British points are adjusted for people that are long time retired, so you're not chasing a historic record, you're chasing a current time. So yeah, that's basically how it works. And if you get close to that standard time, if you achieve that standard time, you get 1,000 points. And working back from that, the highest number of points will qualify for the finals. And that's how you qualify for the finals here. So that we'll be looking out for the points. We'll also be looking out for qualification times. Times to qualify for the World Championships in Singapore are based on times, not on points. So basically that's it, Andy. I hope that's okay.
It certainly is. And in terms of qualification, there are, of course, many different categories that the swimmers are swimming in here. And those three swimmers in the picture at the top there, that's Max Davis, Lewis Jones in the centre, and Jamie Curtis in lane number 5, 3, 4 and 5. They're all S8s and S9s. There's also an S6 in this race, Bruce D. So it looks like these three guys are leading by quite a long way, but it could well be that in actual fact Bruce D in lane 6 ends up winning the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bruce D is the lowest numerical class. He has the slowest target. There he is. Bruce D, one of the Northampton contingent who have been so successful in para-swimming over recent years. I think I was speaking to Andy Sharp yesterday. He's got 5 para-swimmers here. And Bruce D, one of them. And he was one that went to Paris last year. He made the final in this 400. And actually, he was 4th place in the individual medley, Bruce D. So that's maybe an event for him to watch out for. This 400 is quite a tough target. The target times to make that World Championship are very, very tough for the para swimmers. I think there's a maximum of 18 swimmers that they're going to select for that World Championships here at these championships. There's also a second selection meet in the summer. But it's very, very tough, Andy, and I'd be surprised if anyone was going to make this time in the 400 freestyle, but you never know. You never know.
And I think they've actually, Aquatics GB have actually put a split qualification. You can qualify here and then qualify again in the summer. And I think, was that mainly because the Paralympics was quite delayed compared to the able-bodied Olympics, so the swimmers have taken some time off, given them a little bit more time to get ready and get qualified?
Yeah, that's the rationale. I think the Paralympics went into September, so we're kind of in late September. People take some time off after the major competition, as we always see in the big cycle of Olympic and Paralympics. People take some time off. It's a good time to do it. And yeah, maybe didn't get back until after Christmas. So yeah, it's a little bit of an ask for some of the para swimmers who swam in Paris.
Yeah, indeed. I suppose after the Olympics is over, the Olympic cycle's finished, another 4-year cycle starts. So it's always a good idea, I think, to take a really good break if you can. Some swimmers maximise that opportunity, and some actually, like Matt Richards was back pretty quick. I think he was back in October, which is very quick indeed. I'll just give you an update here of this first heat of the men's 400 metres freestyle. Right in the centre there in lane 4, Lewis Jones swimming really well, the S9. And next to him going, well, very, very well is Max Davis. He's an S8. And Jamie Curtis just been dropped a little bit. It looks like Lewis Jones is going to be first to touch the wall. He is, with Max Davis second, Jamie Curtis third. And then about 50 metres back is Bruce D, but he, of course, is an S6, so he could still come out on top here.
Yeah, I would expect that. Let's see if we get the points totals. I was hoping we'd get the points totals on the captions here. We might get them when we get the results at the end of this one. But here's Bruce D now. Bruce's entry time in 5:23.24, so that's just slipped by for Bruce D. Should be comfortably into this final. I think there's only about 10 swimmers competing in this one, and Bruce D will be into that final quite comfortably. And here he comes in now to the final stages. Paralympian from Paris. We'll expect him to be in that final. Finishes strongly, Bruce D. He's getting a big round of applause from the crowd here in the Aquatics Centre. Nice to see. Oh, a little bit of a grimace there from Bruce at the end. Don't think he was too happy with that time. He'll be back tonight, though.
It's a 400. Gracious me, I'll be grimacing. I think I need oxygen.
He kind of looked there and he went, ooh, when he saw that time. But yeah, he'll be back, and there he is, 5:42.62. We're not going to get the points. Lewis Jones, a good swim, 4:53, just ahead of Max Davis, but Max, with the lower classification number, should be the higher number of points. I think Bruce will probably come out in terms of points ahead of everyone in that first heat. Some para swimmers in this one as well, and in this next heat, as you can see by the start list there, you see the classifications of the swimmers. So only 2 non-para swimmers in this one.
So here we go, it's heat 2 of the men's 400 metres freestyle.
Take your marks.
So the full lineup, Bjorn Spassian and of Hamilton Bass in 0 right at the top there, using 10 lanes in the heats. In 1 it's Brennan of Basildon, 2 Williams of Manchester, 3 Cook of Birmingham, 4 Bryant of Maidenhead, Belsey of Hatfield in 5, Keogh of Bolton in 6, Sturgis Bournemouth Collegiate School in 7, Navarro Barra of Portsmouth North Sea in 8, and in 9 it's Sam Downey of University of Stirling.
Yeah, again, the outside lanes, these para swimmers. Sam Downey in here in lane 10. He's the S8 swimmer. It's the lowest numerical class. He's probably got the best pedigree of anyone in this field. He went to the World Championships 22 and 2023. Sam Downey was a finalist in the World Champs actually in 2022 in this 400 freestyle. Predominantly backstroke. Well, Sam Downey is his target. He's behind the field, but again, Andy, maybe in terms of points, we're going to see a big points total for him. In terms of the other para swimmers, Kieran Williams may be leading them in lane number 2, but it's the non-para swimmers going through in the early stages here.
Indeed it is, and Sam Cook, it looks like up there in lane number 3, started well. Interesting tactics on this 400 metres freestyle. I think, Dan, you were talking earlier, don't go out too quick, but I suppose you've got to get that fine balance between early, easy speed and then making sure that you don't go out too slow and leave it all in the first half of the race.
Absolutely, because if you go out too slow, the person in the next lane to you could go out a little bit quicker, and then you haven't left enough time to catch them up. And that is the worst feeling in the world, trust me. I've been through it.
Well, I've got to say, every time I watch your 1500 metres freestyle, you finished so fast, and you just, I mean, you did some wonderful swims. Commonwealth Games, can't remember which one it was. Was it Birmingham? I mean, you swam absolutely brilliantly. Maybe it was in, I don't know where it was. It was in Britain somewhere.
It was Glasgow.
Was it? Glasgow.
Yeah.
I loved watching that. But the way you swam, it was fascinating because you just finished like an absolute steam train.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, that was my first ever international competition.
Was that thank you because I called you a steam train or because you finished quick?
Well, I was very inexperienced. That was back in 2014. That was my first ever major international competition. And to be honest, I was not winging it. That would be a bit too far saying that. But I was definitely just trying new things out, and it worked. I still say that was one of the best swims of my career.
Oh, it's a super swim. So Sam Cook leading the race in lane number 3, but the field here, Paul, still quite strung out. And of course there's finals up for grabs here for not only the able-bodied but also the para swimmers as well. And it's an interesting race here. Trying to work out who's where must be quite difficult in these races for the para swimmers. Yeah,
it's pretty difficult in multi-classification. You can kind of have a good idea if you look at the classifications and what times they're doing, look at the entry times, see how close they are. And it's slightly different for the para swimmers at these championships. They can make the qualifying times for the World Championships in the heats. So it's good to keep a close eye, because some people will be going for it in the heats. They've got 2 bites of the cherry for the qualification, so watch out for some of the swimmers, para swimmers. 400 freestyle for men, maybe a little bit of an ask to make those qualifying times. I don't expect any of the swimmers to do that in these heats.
Indeed. Well, Sam Cook's still going well. We'll keep you up to date on which swimmers do make the finals in both the able-bodied and the paras. But this is a great swim here from Sam Cook, the swimmer in lane number 3 from University of Birmingham. And he's a good 10 metres ahead here. This is a fantastic swim, it really is.
There's also a really good race between 5 and 4. 4 is really, really pushing.
So there's Sam Cook winning at 4:01.06, and here's the head-to-head race that Dan was just talking about. It looks like in lane number 6, Josh Keogh got second, and they're really tight between 3rd and 4th. That's Dan Besley and Lucas Bryant. What a race that was.
Yeah, the para swimmers coming in now. Kieran Williams, 4:23 for Kieran. You'll be pleased with that one. Entry time of 4:26 for Kieran Williams. He'll be pleased to dip under that 4:25 mark. Rowan Brennan in second. Bowen Owen, Thomas Navarro Barber coming in almost together. And Sam Downey will round out this heat. Coming into the last 5 now, the S8 swimmer. I think we're going to have to wait for the points totals, but Sam will be there or thereabouts in terms of time. There's Sam. I don't think he's too happy with that one. 4:48.33. Bang on his entry time, though, so let's hope he can improve that into the final. I'm sure that'll be enough for him to make the final time.
Well, it was 8 seconds under his season's best, so it's not a bad swim at all, just outside of his lifetime best, but very good there from the S8, Sam Downey. No doubt about the winner, though. Sam Cook, a super swim from him. Under 4 minutes is his lifetime best listed here. So 4:09. Where did he go? 4:01.0. So 8-second lifetime best. That's quite extraordinary. 8-second lifetime best on a 400 metres freestyle, Dan. That's amazing, isn't it?
That is amazing. That's 2 seconds per 100. I mean, that's a dream.
I love the way he said
I remember those days.
You can feel a dream on that one, can't you? That's hilarious. There's those suits, super tight they are. A little bit of rubber around the bottom of the legs there, but there we go. So, result of the second heat, the men's 400 metres freestyle. Sam Cook winning it, 4:01, massive lifetime best from him from Birmingham University. Keogh second, Bryant, Belsey, Williams, Sturgis, and those Paralympians. Well, it'll be interesting to see who makes it through to the finals. There's one more Paralympian here, I believe, in lane number 4. Is that right? I think it is. No, it's an international swimmer, isn't it? There's an E next to the name, which means they are excluded from making it through to the finals because it's a British final only, but welcome to swim in the heats there, here.
Take your marks.
So, heat 3 of the men's 400 metres freestyle. The fastest seed is Tim LaBelle Beckenham. He goes in lane 4 with William Shefford of the University of Stirling in 5, and Ryan Wall, City of Cambridge. That was my first ever swimming club. And those who know the Cambridge team down there, the Barker family, absolutely wonderful. I think they went on for such a long time. So sad to hear the passing of Jan Barker recently, but a massive effect on my swimming career. Dan, you must have had a fair few people who've had just enormous effects on your life and your swimming career right from the very start.
Absolutely. So I spent my career in 3 different swimming clubs. So I started off at Nexus Valley Swimming Club. That was until I was about 13 years old. I then moved to Neath.
Stupid question. Nexus Valley, is that in Nexus?
No, it's in a place called Neath Valley. So it's actually where I was brought up, in the heart of the valleys of South Wales.
I was going to say, I'd never heard of Nexus in Wales, but why is it called Nexus out of interest? Just is.
It just is.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Good. Not so stupid question. Thank goodness for that. Well, first 100 just gone in this heat 3 of the men's 400 metres freestyle. There's 10 heats in total, and closest to us in lane 9 is closest to us. That's Finley Richardson of Guildford City. In lane 8, Zach Slater of Edinburgh University. 10 lanes used in the heats, only 8 in the final. Still don't quite understand, if you've got 10 lanes in the pool, why you don't use 10 lanes in the heats and the finals, not just the heats.
That's what I've always thought, and I've always thought in the final, give more people an opportunity to swim in it, because swimming in a final is definitely a different experience than swimming in the heats. As we said earlier, the atmosphere is so different, and it just gives you great insight into what future races would be like.
Well, it is international law, so Britain, you're not allowed to do it if they want to swim under the FINA regulations, the World Swimming Body regulations. But I'd love to lobby FINA, the World Swimming Body, and say, come on, World Aquatics, excuse me, they've changed the name, but I would love to make sure that we can use all 10 lanes. I think it's a throwback to history where there were 8-lane pools, but so there's 8 lanes in the final. But why not use 10 if there's 10 there? Apparently, I'm told by the guru, who is John Bailey, that it's to make sure that the outside lanes you don't get next to the wall, because in the finals there's a spare lane. But if you've got an anti-wave lane line and you've got deck level pool, I'd almost prefer to be in an outside lane.
Well,
Dan, you just gave me the curl of the upper lip.
Yeah, like I do disagree with you there, Andy. I like to be in the centre. I like to be in the thick of it.
Yeah. They do. I do know that I saw the European Championships. Actually, if there's an 8th place tie, they do actually use an extra lane. So it is done on the 200s and upwards. But then again, that's ridiculous, isn't it? 200s and upwards, they do use an extra lane. 100s and below, they don't. Which 100s is 50s. What's that about? Come on, Dan, help me out.
I just amused. I'm not over the fact that you'd rather swim in an outside lane, Andy. Absolutely not. I completely disagree with you there. But yeah.
Well, swim off for a 1500 heats? No, that's not. I mean, if you're equal 8th on a 1500, then you're definitely not going to swim off. And so therefore, you used to actually have to flip a coin. Have you ever been in a swim off?
Not for a 1500. I couldn't think of anything worse. Imagine, you'd have 3 1500s in a day.
No, I was a 50 and 100 swimmer. You're talking to the wrong guy here. So this is heat 3 of 10 of the men's 400 metres freestyle, and a really good swim up there in the yellow hat in lane number 3. It's Matthew Faines of Jersey Tigers. Say Tigers SC Jersey Limited. Full name. It's a really good swim. Is he going to go 4.6 or something like that? Oh, there you go. 4.6.07. Very good. Tim the Bill second. Thomas Smith third. Fourth was Zach Slater. Fifth was Ryan Wall. Interesting there. A little bit of a shrug at the end. And Defane's lifetime best on paper 4.05, but season's best of 4.09. So it was the season's best there by 3 seconds from Matthew Defane. 3 seconds season's best, and he's not that chuffed. Interesting. He'd be reasonably happy, just off his lifetime best. Maybe that's what he was looking for.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy for now. It's April, and having a lifetime best. You'd like to save them for later on in the season, especially the summer. But I mean, lifetime best now is great.
So Defanes wins it in 4.06.0. Swimmer second, an international swimmer. So he's not allowed to progress through to the to evening A's and B finals and the junior finals. Heat 4 of 10 of the men's 400 metres freestyle. Number 4 is Lawrence Elliott, the fastest seed of Exeter City, with either side of him Cedar Gullen of Edinburgh University in 3, and in 5 is Daniel Fallon of Leatherhead. Going to get into race tactics in a second.
Take your marks.
So heat 4, men's 400 metres freestyle. Some big boys coming up fairly soon. Jimmy Guy, Olympic champion. Multiple, in fact 3 Olympic gold medals he's got, and seeing him for the first time in a long time in the 400 free coming up fairly shortly. So that's going to be a cracking race to watch, see how he does. But tactics on a 400 metres freestyle, Dan. You were distance freestyle. Predominantly I saw you on the 15. Did you do the 8s and the 4s?
I did do 4s and I've done 8s, but yeah, I preferred the 15. It sounds crazy saying this, but I found 400s too short for me.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I like to give myself some time in the race. I love the tactics of it all. But in a 400, what you don't want to do, you don't want to go out too quick, because the quicker you go out, the harder coming back is going to be.
Well, Max Dyson Holly of City of Cardiff right at the top there. He has gone out pretty quickly. Don't normally get an outside lane going quite this fast on the first 100 metres of a 400 freestyle. I wonder whether he's gone out too quick. He's got a lovely, long, beautiful, rangy stroke. Look at that.
It does look great. You know, the aim in swimming is to make yourself look in the water as long as possible. So you need to try and make yourself look about 9 foot tall. That's what Adam Baker always told me, my coach.
And also see if you can put that hand out there and then pull your body over your hand. Almost put your hand out. Nice long stretch right at the end of the stroke, right at the top of the stroke there. And then if you can, just leave your hand there and pull your body over the top of it. Lane 0 leading. Interesting, this coming through now in the centre there in lane number 5 is Dan Fallon, but also going well right next to lane 0 at the top is lanes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dan right now, and he's looking very, very long. He's looking very smooth. He's got a good rhythm, but same for Max up in lane 0. Good turn for Max as well then.
Yeah, well, so that's the halfway turn in this heat 4 of 10 heats of the men's 400 freestyle there. Look at that stroke. He's starting to look a little bit tired maybe, but He has gone out quickly, first to the 200, to the halfway mark, and he's still going well, you know.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Now, I always found when I done 400s, the third 100 was the most important, and that is the 100 that I would be training for in training, because you're not at the end of the race, so you haven't got that adrenaline to push you through it, but you're already tired from the first 200.
So when you say you train for the third 100, what do you actually do differently in training to make sure that you can hit that third 100 as hard as you... Well, do you hit it hard? Do you increase the pace? What do you do when you get to that halfway mark?
Well, in a race, I would try to push the third 100. I would try to pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay. Well, that is the end of the third 100, and he's still leading. It was 0.6 of a second difference, and it's now 0.58. So it's pretty much the same gap from the 200-metre turn to that 300 metres turn, and he's hanging on really well here is Max Gayson-Holly of City of Cardiff.
Yeah, we're seeing Dan now. He's really using his legs now for this last 70 metres. But Max is really holding on. He's looking really good going into this last turn.
So Dan Fallon right in the centre of Leatherhead. He's in lane number 5, and Max Gayson-Holly of City of Cardiff at the top there. He's still leading. He's breathing away from the swimmer in the centre. Is the swimmer at the top there, Max? So it's Max from Dan. Max in 0. Dan in the centre there in the blue hat, and he's still leading right at the top there, the City of Cardiff swim. This is a very good swim indeed. He led right from the start. That first 100 metres, we wondered whether he was a little bit too quick. Had a half a second lead at the 200, half a second lead at the 300. And there, look at that. Very good indeed. 4:04.74, a new lifetime best it is for Max Gayson-Holly of the City of Cardiff. A 3-second lifetime best on the 400 metres freestyle. You come to the Aquatics GB 2025 Championships, you do a 3-second lifetime best.
Absolutely. It's day one, morning one as well. For a 3-second PB in the morning, that is exactly what you came here to do.
Very good. Back in a 30.7. Look at that. I love looking at the faces of the poor guy. Well, he didn't leave anything in the pool. Good on you, Max. Wins heat 4 of the men's 400 freestyle, 4:04.74. Dan Fallon, great swim from him as well, 4:05.1. That's a new lifetime best from him by 3.5 seconds as well. Very good swimming indeed. Excellent. Now, heat 5 of 10. The last 2 heats are cycle seeded. This heat 5. Tom Belton, lane 4 from Mount Kelly. Another one of my old swimming teams. Loved my time at Mount Kelly, really did. Fantastic squad they got there. It's big now as well. With one of the legacy Olympic pools that came from here, one of the training pools, went down to Mount Kelly. Some great swimming programs now in Britain. In the high schools, really do. So this heat 5 for the men's 400 metres freestyle, right in the centre, Tom Belt of Mount Kelly. It is lane 5, Sam Sutcliffe of Ramsbottom SC. And 14-year-old in lane 8, Yakno of Portsmouth. Right. So down this first 50. We talk about easy speed down the first 50, maybe a first 100 of a 400 down. What is easy speed? What does that mean?
Easy speed is quite hard to describe unless you're doing it. So it's basically as fast as you can go, as easy as you can go. Right. If that makes sense.
Yes. As fast as you can go, as easy as you go. So get some good speed going, but don't use too much energy doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. As opposed to thrashing to go a little bit faster, but using up a massive amount of energy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ben Proud won't be going easy speed.
He won't be.
He will not be going easy speed. He will be going full on, foot down, Max.
From the start.
From the start.
And there's Ben Proud, Olympic silver medalist. 50 freestyle. Well, here we go. First 100 down on this heat 5 of 10 heats at the men's 400 metres freestyle. And the youngster, the 14-year-old, Makar Yakno of Portsmouth, looking very good indeed in lane number 8. He really does look excellent closer to us. Also going well in lane 5 is Sam Sutcliffe. Looks like Sutcliffe might be first to turn. Very close indeed. In fact, it is lane 8 by 4/100ths of a second. Yakno in 8 over Sutcliffe in 5. But Sutcliffe, lovely long rangy stroke. In fact, both of them do have really nice... Would you say these are great distance strokes? What do you like in a distance stroke, Dan?
A distance stroke, I found, like, the less you don't want much splash. Really, you want to keep as long and as smooth in the water, and we're really seeing that from Tom. It's not Tom, sorry. You're really seeing that from Sam right now. We're going into the third 100, so as I was saying, this is the third 100 where maybe his stroke will change a little bit, you know, as he tries to pick up the speed.
Well, for a 14-year-old, that was quite extraordinary. Born in 2010. Can you imagine? It just, time waits for no man, certainly, but he's going well at the moment in the white hat there, closer to us, but starting to come through a little bit is in lane number 7, Dragasius of City of Manchester. Still going well is Sam Sutcliffe in 5. But the leader, well, it is still Yakno, but it was, what, a couple of hundreds at that previous turn. 13 100s, I think it was, at that one. Very close indeed, but the black hat now starting to come into the picture here on this third 100.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good. He's looking really strong, and this is exactly where you want to be going into the final 100.
You prefer to be on the shoulder of somebody rather than leading with 100 to go?
Depends the race. In a 1500, no, because I'd never have too much energy, and you know, it's an absolute fight in the last 100. But it all depends on the race. We're also seeing number 4, Tom Belt, looking really strong from Mount Kelly. An interesting fact: Andy was actually a founding member of Mount Kelly swim team with Sharon Davis.
It was indeed. It was a fantastic team, I have to say. A lot of them will be watching this championship, but we had some super swimmers down. We really did. I think there were 21 swimmers on the team and 19 were senior or junior internationals. It was an amazing squad that was put together there. It's still going strong now. It's a great, really great program. But Makar Yakno of Portsmouth in lane number 8, the white hat closest to us here, still going very well indeed. He's been leading. He's in a great scrap here with Dragasius of Manchester. These two really having a super battle. The black hat of Dragasius of Manchester, the white hat closer to us of Yakno of Portsmouth. Look at that, great swim, 4:03.8. Massive lifetime best. Another 4-second lifetime best for the winner. These 400 freestyles are producing some really special swims.
Definitely. It was really interesting to see Maka then. Do you see how hard he hit the wall? He really wanted to win that race. And it's great to see 8 and 7 shake hands at the end. I mean, good sportsmanship.
It does, and interesting, he's got a bit of a baby face, doesn't he? When he swims, his stroke looks really powerful, really strong, really mature stroke technique for such a youngster. 14 years of age, the winner there. That's amazing. So here we go. Makar Yakno of Portsmouth wins it. Massive lifetime best. Dragasius of City of Manchester Aquatics Centre second. Tom Belt of Mount Kelly third. Those top guys, all huge lifetime bests. Great to see. That's heat 5 done. There's 10 heats in this men's 400 freestyle. This is heat 6. Coming up now, Dan Cox, the fastest seed from University of Birmingham, in lane number 4. Monty Smith in 5 of Wickham. 6 is Josh Denham, University of Stirling. Olympic trialist he was in lane 6 in the 200, in the 803. So we go, heat 6 of 10. So 3 more uncycle seeded heats, and then the fastest 20 swimmers in Great Britain in the men's 400 metres freestyle going in those last 2 heats, but it's hotting up very quickly indeed. And if you're in one of those last 2 heats, Dan, you're a bit of a superstar guy, as you were, and you're sitting there and suddenly people start pumping up massive lifetime bests in these early heats. Do you watch it and start thinking, oh my word, if they're going that time, what are we going to be having to go by the time we get there? Or do you just stay in your zone and not even worry about these 5, 6, 7, 8 second lifetime bests?
I tried to not take notice of what was happening in the races before me, because I definitely took them to heart. I would think to myself, oh no, they're absolutely flying this morning, I'm going to have to be the same. And you always find that if you're thinking that, that's not a good start.
So you tried to. So what was the answer? Did you have a little sneaky look every now and again? And if you did that get the old butterflies flying?
The butterflies are flying anyway, but definitely I now and again did look, and it was always the wrong thing to do. That's my personal opinion. That's what happened to me.
Well, It's fascinating to see how many different swimmers do it different ways, all the way up to the very top. Some people like watching and seeing what's going on. A very interesting question I do have for you. Just give you an update right in the centre here, because going well in lane number 4 is Dan Cox of University of Birmingham, with Monty Smith going with him, and maybe the best start is Josh Denham, the Olympic trialist on the 800 metres freestyle in lane number 6. The black hats there of University of Stirling. But on the blocks, or in the sort of 5 minutes before you get on the blocks, lots of different strategies of making sure that you stay in the zone and you really are concentrating on what you're doing. Did you have a little pre-set program of what you did just right before you got on the blocks?
Definitely. So we spoke about this yesterday, Andy, didn't we? I suffer with nerves quite a lot, and something that I used to do breathing techniques. So breathe in through the nose, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out through the nose, and what that does, that calms your body down. Now, if you're doing a sprint event, you want to be absolutely buzzing going into the race. You want to be full energy, everything. When you're going into 400 and above, the more distance races, you don't want to have too much adrenaline before you get in, because if you've got that, you'll waste that in the first 200, and then you've got nothing left for the last bit of the race.
Fascinating. So in through your nose for 4 counts, and then out through your mouth?
Yes.
For
about 4 counts, yeah. Oh. And it's individual, like however you do it. I don't think we're going to start a yoga class right now. But
I don't know. I tell you what, it's a good idea. I was just going to have everybody at home do a little bit of breathing technique just to relax and get into it with double Olympian Dan Jervis. 100 metres to go in this heat 6 of the men's 400 metres freestyle, and a really good battle here. And there were just the top 3 in the centre, but there's a couple of guys join them up then in lanes 1 and 2. In 1 is Jake Chesworth of Maxwell, in 2 it's Jack Booth Rudd of Portsmouth North Sea. Those guys are going well, but the red hat on the right-hand side of that shot in lane 4 is Dan Cox of Birmingham, with Monty Smith next to him in 5 and Josh Denham of Stirling in 6. 50 to go. This is interesting.
Absolutely. And Dan Cox is exactly where I liked to be at this point in the race, because you know the swimmers are quite close, because he can see everyone and where they are, and you know a close race is what people want to see, but he's a little bit ahead, so I hope he's got enough energy to finish this race ahead as well.
So Cox in the red hat there right in the centre from University of Birmingham, also going very well in lane number 2. That's 3 from the top. That's Jack Booth Rudd of Portsmouth North Sea, and it looks like he may be taking over the lead. And also going well is Jake Chesworth of Maxwell up there in lane number 1. Really tight finish. Look at that. Who gets it? Well, first was Booth Rudd in 2. Very close indeed. A couple of tenths behind him was Dan Cox in 4 of University of Birmingham, with Jake Chesworth just touched out into 3rd. But the winning time 4:03.21 for the winner, and that's another really good swim, another lifetime best, 2.5 seconds again.
Excellent. And we just saw a prime example of Jack. He paced that perfectly. Then he took it out at the right pace, and then he came back. He had enough energy to take over and win.
Well, there's a swimmer who touched in 2nd place, was Dan Cox. And the winner was Jack Booth Rudd of Portsmouth North Sea. 2 21-year-olds, 1st and 2nd. And 2 lifetime bests, certainly for the top 2. In fact, I think the top 3 there could even be top 4. 4:03.21 wins it. Excellent swimming. So heat 7, 2 more uncycle seeded heats, and then the top 20 come. Heat 7, Harry Chandler of Worcester's the fastest seed in 4. And Rapson of University of Stirling in 3. Coda Verde in lane number 5. Stockport swimmer Coda Verde.
Take your marks.
Heat 7 of 10 heats of the men's 400 metres freestyle here at the Aquatics GB Championships for 2025. And it is indeed Harry Chandler, the fastest seed from Worcester. His entry time 4:02.4, but a season's best so far of 4:07. Very good fly swimmer, 200 metres butterfly. So a good distance freestyler, and also a good 200 fly swimmer. It's an interesting combination, Dan.
Yeah, you know, I've seen a few examples of distance swimmers especially open water swimmers actually, that really can bring it down and do a very good 200 free. 200 fly. Example is Hector Pardo. He's excellent at 200 fly. I think his PB is 2 minutes, that's not too bad.
It isn't bad at all, is it? You've got to be pretty hardcore, though. If you're going to go 10,000 metres open water, which is a bit of a battle because there's no lane lines there, you just go and have a fight. I mean, he got a shocking eye injury in Tokyo, in that Tokyo Bay. He had to actually pull out, but apparently a boxer commented on the tweet that Pardo put out after that when he pulled out, and he had just the worst shine. I mean, it looked like he said he thought he'd lost his eye for a while, and a boxer commented and said, that is a bad eye injury. And when you get a boxer commenting on it, you know there's a problem.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. And but what a story coming out of that race.
Yeah, it was amazing. It really was amazing. So here we go. This is Heat 7. That was the 150-metre turn. And going really well. There's something about this lanes 1 and 2 going out very quickly again is Jacob Goodman of Loughborough University swim team. And he started very well. He's got a lovely, powerful, flowing, long stroke, certainly to 200. I wonder if he's gone out a bit quick. He looks very good here at the halfway mark.
Yeah, he does look very good, and I think how a swimmer looks is a good indication of how they feel. Now, I've raced Jacob quite a few times during my career. He's very good, and he can bring it back.
Well, he can bring it back, but look at Matt Baker of University of Bath, one lane closer to us. He's just starting to have a go here at Jacob Goodman. So it looks like it may just be Goodman up there in lane 1. Lane 0, of course, is the outside lane, 0 and 9. But in lane 1, who's going to get the touch here at the 250? It is Goodman from Baker from Fleming in 8, Rapson in 3, Coda Verde in 5, and Baker in 6. It looks now maybe, Dan, that Matt Baker of University of Bath is just starting to take the lead here. And as you said, push that third 100, and this is what he's doing. Yeah,
exactly. And you can see he's using his legs more. His rhythm has got quicker, and he's looking really, really strong. He's actually not breathing towards Jacob, so he probably doesn't know where Jacob is right now, but he's going to know after this turn.
And interesting you say that he's using his legs a little bit. So do you save your legs a little bit on the first 200 and then pick them up?
I think it's very individual. I used to use my legs quite a lot. I was very leg dominant in my stroke, and well, you can see now at the 75 metre he's really picked up with his legs.
Well, he looks very good, and also coming back one lane next to him, one lane closer to us from the leader, Matt Baker, is Cam Rapson of University of Stirling. And look at this race, very interesting. Also going really well in 5 is Dan Coda Verde of Stockport Metro, and possibly having the fastest, certainly second 200 here is Coda Verde in 5.
Yes, exactly. I actually trained quite a few times in Stockport in the last 2 years of my career, and I trained with Dan for 1 or 2 sessions. He's a very good trainer, so I'm really excited for what he can do this week.
Well, good training is really paying off here. It's converting wonderfully well into an excellent Aquatics GB 2025 World Championship trial. It is 4:01.00 from the winner, Dan Coda Verde. He's a real youngster, just 16 years of age, and that's an excellent swim. It really is. Well, his lifetime best was 4:02.82, and he's just gone 4:01.00, so 1.82 lifetime best. Very clear. You come to this championship, if you don't do a lifetime best, you're not going to win a heat.
No, exactly. It's so exciting to see how many PBs have gone already this morning. We're on event 2.
Well, it's boding very well indeed. I think they kept the qualification standards the same from the Olympic trials last year to this championship here. I think we've got 20% more entries. Amazing. Coda Verde wins it. New lifetime best for him, 4:01.00. Rapson second, Goodman third, Baker fourth with Fleming fifth. Eden Turner in 6th place there with a 4:04.81, and 6 100s back from him in 7th. The final unseeded heat in the men's 400 metres freestyle, and the fastest seed is in lane number 4, Volkovoy of Cambridge University, Alexander Volkovoy. There he is with that red, looks like a lion on his hat, right in the centre. And there really have been a lot of entries here, huge entries, particularly in women's 1500 metres freestyle tomorrow morning at the end of that session. It goes on for quite a long time, but the number of entries really has increased. It's fascinating to see, Dan.
Yeah, it is. The entries are up actually 15% with the swimmers this year from last year. So this year there's 1,058 swimmers, and it's up 14% in the para swimmers to now 102.
Wow. 1,058 swimmers. We've got a week ahead of us, haven't we? That's well, it's great to see. It really is. It's an absolute honour to be here at Aquatics GB 2025 Championships and watching such wonderful swimming. Started already very well in this heat 8 of 10 heats of the men's 400 metres freestyle, and lane 5, Josh Williams of Swansea University.
Yeah, let's go, Josh. Josh was actually my training partner, so I know Josh very well. I know exactly how he swims his 400 free.
So come on then, tell me exactly how does he swim a 400 free?
Well, the first 50 he went rapid, and he looks like he's holding on right now. I mean, Josh's tactic I've always found as his training partner is to kind of go out and hold on. He's got a lot of grit, Josh has. He can really fight through the pain, because there's a lot of it in the 400.
I'm absolutely sure of that. He's gone up well. He really has. Also going well right at the bottom of the shot there in lane 9 is Joshua O'Brien of City of Cardiff. So the two Welsh swimmers here, or Welsh team swimmers anyway, certainly. Both Welsh qualified swimmers there, are they?
Well, Josh definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Joshua O'Brien is as well,
yeah. So Josh Williams in the centre. Well, I guess he's had to change his training. If you were his training partner, I mean, there's not going to be anybody quite as quick a trainer as you, I would imagine. So I would imagine he's now had to go from the what is it? Is it the rabbit to the fox, or I don't know what it is, from the badger to the something? I don't know.
I don't know, but something I do know is Josh is very headstrong. So no matter who is his training partner, Josh can push on. And Josh will make a very good training partner for others as well, because he's a really nice guy as well.
Oh, a nice guy and a great competitor. There you go. Wouldn't have made a sprinter. Sprinters aren't nice guys. They're mean. They bite your grandma.
Something I've just seen, but there now on the 250 mark. Sorry, that was a very good turn from Josh. So he was long off the wall. And he came out strong. He's going into this last 125 exactly where he wants to be. Look at him. He looks very comfortable.
Well, he's got a lifetime best down of 356.6. What do you think he'd be happy with here? Something lifetime bestie or season's best?
If I was always after a season's best at April, but I think he won't be too far off the lifetime best.
Well, the difference between his lifetime and his season is 6 seconds. It's quite a big difference. 5.8 actually. 356.6 is his lifetime best. 402.4 is the season's best. But what is he thinking about here in terms of approach to making sure that he gets himself on the wall at the end of the next race? He's got about 55 metres to go. What's he thinking right now?
He's thinking about the turn. So what he was thinking then is probably to curl up as much as you can, and the tighter you curl up on the wall, the more explosive you can be off it, and it gives you momentum going into that last 50.
Well, he certainly used good momentum off that last wall, and let's see how close he can get to his lifetime best. Starting to look a little bit tired now, but he's going very well indeed. Let's see him get in. 10 metres to go in this heat 8 of 10 of the men's 400 metres freestyle, and he's gone very well indeed. Josh Williams, 356.96. Oh, just 0.3 of a second outside of his lifetime best, but a massive season's best that for Josh. And well, I'm not quite sure if that was a happy face or not.
I think it was a happy face. I think that's exactly where Josh would want to be at this time.
Well, he's shaking his head a little bit, but I thought it was a very good swim there. The way he approached it, the way he swam it, and he swam it almost on his own, really. It was a good long way ahead in the end. It was about 2.5 seconds ahead of Josh O'Brien from City of Cardiff in second. Ethan Kelly third there, you can see, from City of Liverpool. So Williams wins it from O'Brien, and Kelly in third. Fourth was Davis of Mount Kelly. So Ethan Kelly of Liverpool third, Morgan Davis of Mount Kelly fourth. But no doubt about the winner, your teammate there, Josh Williams. That's impressive stuff.
Very, very impressive. I think he's in for a good week this week.
What else will he be swimming, do you think?
He'll be doing the 200 free later on. He'll be doing many things, but he's a freestyle dominant swimmer.
8?
Maybe doing the 8, maybe.
Well, here we go. Looking forward to this very much indeed. It's the first of the cycle-seeded heats, so the fastest 20 men in Great Britain on the 400 freestyle in these next 2 heats. And Tyler Melbourne-Smith, he's moved to Loughborough University. And let's see what he can do here. Lifetime best of 3:48. There he is, right in the centre. He's a big unit, I tell you. He really is.
Take your mark.
Heat 9 of the men's 400 freestyle. Annan of Royal Tunbridge Wells in 0. On 1 it's Annis of Stirling, 2 is Trebilcock of Swansea, 3 is Grady of Stockport. Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough is in 4 with Sargent of Swansea 5. Wyn Jones of Loughborough in 6. Ashley Sparks, Wickham in 7. McGee in 8 of Loughborough, and Froggatt of Birmingham in 9, closest to us. And it's all pretty even down this first 50. Again, tactically, mindsets here, Dan?
Yeah, I think they'll just be all watching each other at this point. I mean, as the race goes on, we'll start to see there'll be some separation between the swimmers, but right now they're probably just judging each other to see how each other are looking.
How much will they be looking at each other, and how much will they be thinking and concentrating on their own stroke? Because certainly in a sprint, if you look around, you kind of lose it. You start thinking about other people and not what you should be doing. Is there a little bit more looking at other people in the distance events rather than focusing on what you do? It's an interesting comment.
It's a mix from both. I tend to look at the other swimmers. I like to see where they are, and I can kind of judge how I'm doing off them. But you know, some people like to swim in their own lane and kind of be like a bit of like a racehorse, put blinkers up and not think about anyone else.
Indeed. Well, racehorse in that last heat. Josh Williams just walked past us, thumbs up. He had a good smile on his face there, so looked like he was pretty happy with that. So that's the 150 turn in this heat 9, the second last heat of the men's 400 metres freestyle. And right in the centre it is Tyler Melbourne-Smith, the Loughborough University swim team, looking strong, looking nice and comfortable down this first 200. And it'll be interesting to watch now, Dan, and see which of these guys really starts trying to push the third 100 metres and when they go.
Absolutely, because there's a few long distance boys in this race. So Tom Trebilcock, who also used to swim with me in Swansea, Rhys Grady, Tyler Melbourne-Smith and Alexander Sargent are all 1500 swimmers in this, or have been in the past. Now Alexander Sargent actually won the bronze medal last year in the men's lane 5, won the bronze medal in the men's 1500 last year.
At the trials?
At the trials.
Well, you won the trial in the 1500. Who was second in that 1500 trial? Can you remember?
It was my good friend Toby Robinson.
There you go. Who I think has just retired, is he?
Yes, I think he has, and an outstanding open water swimmer.
Yeah, he's had a super career. Well done, Toby. I really enjoyed commentating on you over the years, and it's a shame that you've decided to hang up your bathers, but I'm sure you'll go on to equally good, if not bigger and better things. 100 metres to go in the second last heat of the men's 400 metres freestyle, and he's led from the start. He's very quick up there off the wall, though, Tyler Melbourne-Smith. Very quick into his stroke and breathed right off it. I wonder if that indicates he's puffing a little bit.
I wouldn't necessarily say so. He's looking very strong in the water. So is Alexander Sargent, 2 lanes over from him. Rhys Grady's actually looking very good here as well. Now, Rhys Grady is actually this year moved over to Arizona State University, which you know a lot about.
Certainly do. Sun Devils. Fantastic place that is. They won the NC2As last year, which is the American Collegiate National Championships. And had a super time there. And of course the French superstar was there, Léon Marchand, who's moved on now. But 15 metres to go in the second last heat, the men's 400 metres freestyle, and Tyler Melbourne-Smith of Loughborough University looks like he's going to win it, but a great swim there from Rhys Grady, the Arizona State swimmer. I think he got second or third, just touched out for second place by 1/100th. So Melbourne-Smith wins it, 3:53.4. Second was actually Ashley Sparks of Wickham. And 1/100th behind him in third place was Rhys Grady of Stockport. Mark, There's only 8 lanes in the final available, so these touches very, very important to make sure that you make it through to the final here.
Absolutely. It was great to see Ashley Sparks touch the wall end, because you could tell he was very happy with the swim. He paced it perfectly and looked very strong. I think a good place to put him in good contention for the final. Look how close this is. There's 1/100th between second and third place in this.
Mighty close. Well, I think it should be good to make the final. 3:53.89, but well, there's the 3 fastest. Jack, Kieran and Jimmy. What a heat this is. And talk about Olympic medals here. Well, these guys right in the centre. Look at that, Jimmy Guy. What has he got? 3 Olympic gold medals. Kieran Bird and Jack McMillan were on that the heats of the 4x2 at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, they won gold in the men's 4x2 relay.
So 5 Olympic gold medals between lanes 3, 4 and 5 in this final heat of the men's 400 freestyle. What can Jimmy Guy do here? Can't wait to see this. This is the final heat of the men's 400 metres freestyle. James Guy is in lane 5. We haven't seen him go 400 metres freestyle for a long, long time, but he used to be outstanding at it. Then he dropped it. I think he said, "I wish I didn't drop it," which is quite an interesting comment.
Well, I got to be honest, I am glad he dropped it, Andy, because he would have absolutely smashed me if he hadn't. And, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying this. I think I was in the race, his last 400 race before this. It was the 2018 Commonwealth Games. It was the final. I was going in, I came 4th, and I think Jimmy came 3rd, and I was in that race with him. And I think I'm right in saying at 200 metres, he was under world record pace. Now, that is the most demoralising thing to ever see when you're in that race.
Well, I tell you what, talking about under world record pace, look at this. And we've just seen the world record go on the 400 metres freestyle. Lucas Martins of Germany. Listen to this time on a 400 metres freestyle. 3:39.96 for 400 metres freestyle. Just bizarre. Absolutely extraordinary. 3:39 for a 400 freestyle. He took Biedermann's world record down. Unbelievable. Well, Jimmy's swimming this very interestingly here, tactically. He's gone out very fast down that first 50, 75, 100. This is the 150 turn.
Yeah.
And he's starting to really ease off now and ease in. So maybe he's just practicing that early speed. What do you think?
I was literally just about to say that, Andy. This is exactly what easy speed is. He's flying down the water, but he looks as if he's warming up. Do you know? That is a sign of someone who's got a fantastic technique.
Well, he looks lovely, doesn't he? Look at that. It's poetry in motion coming into the halfway turn in this final heat of the men's 400 freestyle. James Guy leading, 1 lane closer to us. It's Luke Hornsey of Edinburgh University and Kieran Bird in 4. And these 3 guys now quite a way ahead of the rest of the field. Leading the charge is Jack McMillan, the black hat in lane number 3. That's 4 from the top, because, of course, there's lane 0 and lane 9 here. But Jimmy Guy looks very comfortable indeed. Look at this stroke. He's just he's just moved to Manchester. Wonderful coaching program he's got and team he's got there as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. Matt Richards is his training partner. He trains with Matt. But we're watching Kieran Bird as well. Kieran's looking great, and I've been competitor with Kieran for many, many years. The back end of Kieran's race is something to watch. He is phenomenal on that last 100.
Well, you and him together, saving it all for the last 100 and then doing a really special. I've got to say, Kieran Bird's last couple of Olympic trials, certainly in 2024 and that one in 2021, unbelievable 400 metres freestyles. Came from almost nowhere really and qualified on both for the Olympic Games. I'd love to see him qualify here for the Worlds. He's got a little bit of work to do if he's going to make it though. Jack McMillan's 3rd 100 there, very good indeed in lane number 3, and he's moved himself up into contention in maybe just about 3rd, just at the top of those leading 4. Jimmy Guy's still looking good. 1 lane closer to us from Guy is Luke Hornsey, but then in 4 is Kieran Bird and 3 is Jack McMillan with 50 to go. Yeah,
they're all looking very strong. Luke Hornsey's catching up as well. Yeah, they're looking really, really good. But a great beginning to the last 100 for Jack McMillan there.
Well, he worked it very hard and he looks very good at this Jack McMillan. Excellent 200 metres freestyler and 1 Olympic gold from the heat swim that he did. He allowed 2 of our superstar men's 4x2 freestyle relay guys to rest up. Look at Kieran Bird coming back on this final 50 as well, but no doubts about the winner, Jimmy Guy. Well, that was a real crowd pleaser. Glided in at the end, 350.2. That's one of the most comfortable 350s I've ever seen. Guy wins it. Second was Jack McMillan. Third was Kieran Bird. And fourth, Luke Hornsey of Edinburgh. But that's pretty impressive swimming there from that top four.
It was quite funny to watch Jimmy Guy finish that race. He looked as if he was playing a game. I'd been more tired getting out of a bath. He honestly looked, he was so chilled. That is so exciting for tonight. We're going to see an amazing race between these lads tonight.
I wonder how fast they can go. It's almost like he started his swim down at 300. Amazing swimmer. He's got his AP there, his Adam Peaty hat on. So here we go. Result of the final heat of the men's 400 metres freestyle. 350.2. Very easy indeed for James Guy. McMillan second, Bird third. Easy for you to say. And Luke Hornsey fourth. A little bit of a gap there to Sean McCann of Loughborough University in fifth. It'll be interesting to see if Sean McCann can get through to the final. He's got a chance, you know. Fourth in that heat, or fifth in that heat, but top three in the previous were quick, so Sean McCann's got a chance. And there is he's made it in. Well done. Well done. Sean McCann is in eighth. So Jimmy Guy, as expected, fastest seed in. And look at that, those guys from that last heat, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Guy, McMillan, Bird and Hornsey, with Tyler Melbourne Smith making it in. Ashley Sparks, Grady. Can't wait for that final. So we don't really know how Jimmy Guy's going to swim it. I think he might have practiced that early 100 metres speed there. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. He just looked great. He just looked as if he was chilling the whole time. But seeing those times then on what made the final, 3:54 made the final. Tonight, that is going to be very quick.
It is, and he's just sticking his tongue out. I'm not sure if it's mum and dad or something, but he's just walked past us, and he just looks like he's just gone for a walk in the park. He's in fantastic shape, James Guy. Goodness me. Well, you know what? Over the years, people have written him off so many times. It's utterly extraordinary. You just go, do you know what you're doing? It's Jimmy Guy. It's not any old mucker. It's James Guy. He's not going anywhere. He's so tough.
Absolutely. James is actually someone that the youngsters can look at as a great role model. In and out of the pool, he's a lovely guy as well. But what he's achieved in his swimming career so far is fantastic.
Absolutely amazing. 3 Olympic gold medals and a bunch of others as well. But 3 Olympic golds. Of course, he was double Olympic gold medalist in Tokyo and in Paris on the 4x2. Here's the Paralympic final summary. So Thomas Navarro Barber goes in the highest points there into the final this evening. Sam Downey's in there, Kieran Williams, and the top 8, Zach Sturgis makes it in from Bournemouth. So we'll have a couple of S9s, a couple of S10s in there, and of course, well, the first person to finish in the para race doesn't necessarily mean to say they're going to win the gold medal, because it's all against the world record in their category. Next race up, women's 200 metres butterfly, and in this we have world champion. I don't know if the last time we had 2 British female world champions at the same time, and one of them is going to be in this event, women's 200 fly. That's Laura Stevens, and also Freya Colbert swimming in this session again in the 200 freestyle. Last time, can you remember having 2 female world champions?
No, I don't remember the last time that happened.
Becky Adlington, I think, maybe was the last one before these two, but amazing. Great to see. So, first heat of the women's 200 metres butterfly. There are 10 heats, or 9 heats, I think it is. 9 heats of the women's 200 fly. And in heat number 1, we've got Alice Ward of Northumberland and Durham Performance. She's in lane 3. She's at the top there in the black hat. In 4 is Orla McInnes of Heart of Midlothian, and 5 is Sophie Martin of Chesterfield Swimming Club.
Yeah, now going on to this 200 fly, when people have always asked me what is the hardest event, this is one of the ones that I would say. This is not for the faint-hearted.
Harder than 1500 freestyle?
Well, I'm pretty biased because I am a 1500 swimmer, but
so what's the answer?
1500 is harder.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Sorry
it's
to the
not.
200 fly swimmers out there, but it is.
How many 200 flies did you do?
I've done quite a few, actually. I used to be a 200 fly swimmer. Now, I was nothing to what the standard that we're going to be seeing today and later on in the week. But, yeah, I used to be a 200 fly swimmer. I used to love it. Lane 4, Ola McGuinness now is looking very good. Going into this last 75 now. Her sister is actually Kiana McGuinness, who we will be seeing later on in this event. Now, Kiana's going in ranked 1. So Ola's got some... she's got good insight on what a 200 fly is like.
Well, she certainly does. Her sister, very good indeed. But here, right in the centre here, gone out very well down this first 150. Now on a 200 metres butterfly, this is a really, really hard bit, the final 50. Yeah. Everything is hurting. Piano's falling from the ceilings. My dad used to hate it when I said it, but it feels like they're falling off the roof and landing on your back. She's going very well, Ola McInnes here.
That's actually a really good way to describe a 200 fly. Anyone that you talk to says it's like dragging a piano for the last 200. Now, piano's not exactly light today.
I tell you, it hurts, but she's going very, very well in here. Try and keep your body nice and fat if you can. Really good discipline here from Ola. Head down there. Head down again. Keep your head. Last 3 strokes. Well done. Very good indeed. No breather. Last 3 strokes on the 200 fly. Great discipline. 2:23.76. A big season's best there for Ola McInnes of Heart of Midlothian. Well done. Well done. See, look at that face. That is by far the hardest event on the programme.
Nah. No, I'm joking. Honestly, that was great to watch. And, yeah, as I said earlier, this event is not for the faint-hearted.
So there's the result of the first heat of the women's 200 fly. Ola McInnes wins it from Heart of Midlothian, 2:23.76. Exactly 3 seconds back is Alice Ward. And third is Sophie Martin of Chesterfield. So 9 heats of this women's 200 metres butterfly. In the final heat, we got Kiana McInnes, her sister, the fastest seed. So here's heat 2 of 9 of the women's 200 fly. Ellie Peacock of Richmond Dales in lane 4 is the fastest seed. Ruby Muldowney, City of Bristol in 5, Evangeline Belt in 6 of Plymouth. So we should really ask Evangeline Belt of Plymouth what she thinks, because she's swimming this 200 fly here. She's also a very good 1500 freestyler, probably a better 1500 freestyle. We should ask her what she thinks is the hardest event. It's definitely 200 fly.
I'd argue with you on that one, Andy.
Hey, you're new to the commentary box. You've got to behave, haven't you?
Exactly, I know.
It's great to have you in, Dan. It really is. It's fascinating to hear your insights on, certainly on the distance stuff and how you make sure you control your nerves. We were talking about earlier. It's very, very interesting indeed. And well, you've done a couple of events. Has it been as you'd expect so far, commentating at the Aquatics GB 2025 National Championships?
Well, I am loving it. It's definitely very different to anything I've ever done. This is genuinely my first day on the job in my life. But I love learning stuff. I love what we're doing now, and it's fun.
Excellent. Well, you've got another about 29 hours to go for the rest of the week. So
I've got a lot of learning to do.
Well, I was going to say maybe I'll ask you the question on Sunday night and see how you're feeling. But it's great fun to be here. It really is. I'm watching these swimmers. Look at this up in lane number. Well, it's actually lane 1, isn't it? Lane 1. There's nobody in lane 0 in this heat. So lane 1 is Ivy Haggerty of Thanet. She's gone off really quickly here. Ivy, 65.88. Well, if she can even have a half-decent second 100 off a 65, her entry time is 2:24.
Yeah, she is looking great. All the girls in this race are looking great, actually. Yeah, but in Britain we've always had a good run of 200 fly swimmers. We've got a few right now. Kiana McGuinness, we've got Laura Stevens. Before we had Alice Thomas, who was one of my training partners. Not that I used to train as her partner, but she used to swim with me in Swansea, and she's 2018 Commonwealth champion.
Indeed, there's her. There's also Emily now Richards. Was Emily Large?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Married Matt Richards. Gosh, what a swimming family those two will make. I mean, imagine being a kid of those two. No pressure. Still going really well. This is very impressive indeed from Ivy Haggerty from Thanet up there in lane number 1. Also going well in 6 is Evangeline Belt of Plymouth Aquatics and Ruby Muldowney of Bristol. Oh, just going to hang on. Is she who's going to get the touch? It looks like it might have been lane 6. Evangeline Belt of Plymouth. 2:21. New season's best for her to win heat 2 of 9 of the women's 200 metres butterfly. First was Belt, second was Ivy Haggerty at a 2:21.87 with a lifetime best of 2:24.2. That's a good 2.5 second lifetime best for her. Very good in second place. Third was Lydia Shipley. 13-year-old Lydia Shipley. Wow. Very good indeed. Excuse me, Lydia was 6th. Ruby Muldowney. There's the conference results. So Belt wins it from Haggerty 2nd. Muldowney 3rd. Cutter 4th. Lyons 5th. And Shipley was 6th. Heat 3, women's 200 metres butterfly. Alice Forrest, the 15-year-old, in lane 4, the fastest seed. But there's 3 15-year-olds in this event. Some very exciting opportunities here for this championship. It is the World Championship trials for the able-bodied and the Paralympics. That's in the summer. There's both of them in the summer this year. There's also the European Junior Championships and the European Under-23s, both in Slovakia. And then there's the World Junior Championships to be selected from the European Juniors.
Take your marks.
And then there's also European Youth Olympic Festival. Did you go to any of those, European Juniors, the European Youth Olympic Festival?
I went to European Juniors in 2014. I won a gold medal in the 1500 and I won a bronze medal in the 4x2 men's freestyle, actually with Duncan Scott, who we'll see later on in the week.
I did know the answer to that. I just wanted you to tell me that I won gold. You did it very well as well. You did it very well.
Thank you very much. It was amazing. And we see there's a few people this week that were on the team with me. Abby Wood, Holly Hibbert, Duncan. There's a few, and it was great. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. I was actually in Vilnius last year for the European Juniors, and we had some fantastic Theodora Taylor, Sky Card. There's some really fantastic juniors, and watching them do their thing. The mixed medley relay won gold for Great Britain, and it's just a fantastic thing to watch, and just the joy in their faces, and you can just see that is what gets them going, and I want to do more from those wonderful junior events.
Absolutely. And you know, something that I found was in European Juniors is sometimes the first major junior international competition they do, and the awesome thing is you get your anthem played for you if you win. So when I won, I had the British anthem played for me, and it was, you know, moments like that is what you carry thinking about for the rest of your life and use in your career.
Oh, most certainly. It's a wonderful thing to have happen. It's hard to explain the emotion as well. You stand on the blocks on the podium on the top, and you have your anthem played for you. It's an enormously emotional thing. It got me anyway. Certainly did. I remember doing Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh, winning the gold there in 100 metres butterfly. And that was Mum and Dad were there for one of the first times. My sisters were there. It was great, really great experience, and having the national anthem played. So this coming up to the 25 metres to go in this heat 3 of 9 heats of the women's 200 metres butterfly, and Lucy Grant right up the top there, still going well. So coming back really well in lane 7 is Lily Stansfield of Harrogate District, bronze medalist at the Summer Championships in the 200 fly, the 15-year-old, and yeah, 3 15-year-olds in this event.
Yeah, Poppy's finishing very strong here in lane 9.
That's a great finish from Poppy, wasn't it? Finished first. Poppy Babbitt of University of Birmingham, 2:21.5. New season's best by 2 seconds for her. Second was Lily Stansfield, the 15-year-old in lane 7, and third, Kate Baxter of Bath in 2. Great final 50 there from lane 9.
Very good. She's in an end lane, and I actually got this advice from Becky Adlington because I was quite nervous. Becky always said to me, if you've got a lane, you've got a chance. You know, so like a lot of people think if you're in the outside lane, you've got an outside chance of winning, but you've still got a chance of winning, you know, and Poppy just proved it there.
Well, she certainly did. She swam really well, winning Heat 3 of the women's 200 flight as Poppy Babbitt, Birmingham University swimmer, 2:21.5, new season's best by 2 seconds. Stansfield second, Baxter third, Harrison fourth, Lucy Grant of Newport in fifth. And the European Junior Championships qualification here. You have to be born years 2007 to 2011 to be eligible for that European Juniors. European under 23s born 2002 to 2006. Two 15-year-olds, two 16-year-olds in the fastest 4 lanes here. Erin Hawkins of Birmingham in 3. 4 is Chloe Bernard of Basildon. 5 is Threlfall of Leeds, and 6 is Ramery of Wickham.
Take your marks.
Great crop of youngsters here at this 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Very good start from the 16-year-old up there in lane 2 as well. Evelyn Toy of Bristol Penguins, and great to see. Really good underwater, excellent underwater off the start there. Makes such a difference. So if you stop the race from that start, she probably won it by about 0.3, 0.4 of a second.
Absolutely, a dive is so important in, well, every race, I guess, because it gives you that momentum to carry through.
So first 50 down, very important not to go too fast on the first 50 of a 200 metres butterfly. And we've talked a lot about easy speed, but probably the event I would imagine that most important easy speed down the first 50, would you say, on a 200 fly? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you on that one.
Well, I've found one. I've found one you agree with me. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. I mean, going, I guess, pretty obvious, isn't it? Go too fast on 200 fly and you really, really pay for it in the second half. But easy speed to 100, again, pretty important, and they're going well here. Very close indeed, right in the centre. Lane 5 maybe first, in fact equal first, lanes 5 and 6, Millie Threlfall and Ciela Raymery.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched Millie going into the wall there, and she really timed the strokes well. She touched the wall as she finished the stroke, and that meant she could very quickly get over onto the third 50. She looked great.
Getting those knees up and as tight a ball as you can around the wall. We'll have you watch this next turn here, Dan, just to see how they do it, but as tight a ball as you can, but use that momentum hitting the wall and coming back out. Really tight turn. Let's have a look down here. So it was Threlfall in 5, in 6 Sienna Raymery, and these two, the City of Leeds swimmer in lane number 5, that's Threlfall. Raymery in 6, in that green hat of Wickham and District. Oh, now they've just got to hold on nice and tight. Really good discipline it is from lane number 5. That's Millie Threlfall of City of Leeds. Breathing every 2s. That'll keep her body nice and flat. When she does breathe, don't breathe too high. Keep her chin nice and close to the water, so all the energy's used to going forward, and she's won it. Very good. 2:21.85, a new lifetime best by what, half a second there from Millie Threlfall of City of Leeds. Great swim from her. Second, Sienna Raymery of Wickham and District, and third, Zara Fitzpatrick of Bristol. Great discipline down that last 25 metres. Chin nice and close to the water.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see Millie really dug deep to get that then.
And a new lifetime best by just over 0.4 of a second from Millie Threlfall of Leeds. Raymery second, Fitzpatrick third, Hornby fourth and Smith fifth. Great to see all 10 lanes used here. What a fantastic facility this is. The 2012 Olympic Aquatics Centre here in Stratford.
I'd probably say this is the most iconic pool in the world, I would say.
Oh, that's a great call. Did you enjoy racing in this pool?
It was intimidating because it's such a big pool. Like, the crowd is, there's a lot of stands and you're quite far away from the pool, so it makes the pool feel huge.
That's an interesting, intimidating. There's certainly a huge amount of spectators here. There really are. There must be a couple of thousand people here. It's a great attendance for first morning heats. Finals tonight are going to be fantastic fun. So heat 5 of the women's 200 metres butterfly. We've actually got, it is interesting, there's a Paralympic swimmer in lane number 8, that's Faye Rogers of University of Aberdeen Performance. But she's not swimming as a para-athlete here, which is fascinating. A really interesting story. Swam in the Olympic trials in 2021 as an able-bodied swimmer, and then was taking her place up in University of Aberdeen, drove up there, and on the way had a really bad car crash, the result of which she ended up being told she'd never swim again, and she just turned around and said, "You must be kidding." She's now world record holder in the S10s for 200 metres butterfly, world champion, Olympic champion in the 100 metres butterfly. And she was told she'd never swim again. What a fantastic, unbelievable turnaround.
Absolutely. I think that just shows how resilient Faye Rogers is. I mean, to be told something like that and then come back and break the world record. Amazing.
Well, she's first. Was she first to turn there? It looked her second to turn, but very close indeed. 7/100 splitting lanes 7 and 8. That's Naomi Parker of City of Manchester Aquatics turning first, and Faye Rogers. Well, she is trying to break the world record here. She's 1.5 seconds underneath her world record split. That's fantastic at the 100, so she can do it here, can Faye Rogers. That is really, really interesting. Let's see what she can do here. She's an S10. She could break the world record.
World record on a Tuesday morning, day one. It's pretty good.
So 2:22.77, I believe, is the world record.
Come on, Faye.
And this is, it's very, very tight indeed. She's just starting to tie up a little bit, but this is wonderful. She's coached by Patrick Miley. Hannah Miley stand up there at University of Aberdeen Performance, and she can do this, you know.
She can absolutely do this. She's looking very, very strong.
So 5 metres to go. Come on, stick your head down here if you can. Last 5 metres, what's she going to go? Surely that's a world record. Unbelievable. 2:18.93. That is absolutely outstanding. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Can you imagine? Look at that. Well done. A new world record for Faye Rogers, the S10 swimmer in the 200 metres butterfly. I don't believe it's a world championship event, but she's just broken the world record on the 200 metres butterfly for the S10s, 2:18.9. And talk about resilience. That is absolutely extraordinary.
Absolutely, and you can see it. Look at her face. She's absolutely thrilled. You can tell she's so happy with that, and she obviously deserves it. Congratulations, Faye.
Oh, so good. So good to see. And that last, how much pain was she going through down that last 15 metres?
A lot.
Wow. Wow. That's quite brilliant. Quite brilliant. So confirmation of the result then of Heat 5, a massive heat. Faye Rogers, the S10 Paralympian, just broke the world record for women's 200 metres butterfly, 2:18.93. Wow.
Andy, I think this is shaping up to be a very good year for Aquatics GB. We've had multiple personal bests, and we just had a world record.
It's only event 3. It's phenomenal. Heat 6 of 9. The last of the uncycle seeded heats in this women's 200 fly. Megan Davis, fastest seed after seeing that world record. Wow. Wow, that was extraordinary. Megan Davis, fastest seed in 4. Sophia Gledhill of Bradford in 5.
Take your marks.
Evie Young in 6. I always find it quite interesting to see how they prepare when the whistle goes and they're standing still. In 6 it was Evie Young, the Mount Kelly swimmer, standing up. Most of the other swimmers bending over, ready with their hands very close, their fingers very close to the starting block. But she decided to stand up. It was interesting. Maybe get a little bit more momentum, she feels, as she's going down. What did you used to do, Dan?
Maybe. I think when I was younger, I used to do the same. I used to stand up and then go down. But as my career went on and as I got older, I definitely used to tuck in before I used to dive in. I guess it's all individual. It's what you practice in training, really.
Well, that's it is interesting to see the different ways of doing it, and certainly there's several swimmers who do really interesting stuff behind the box. Caleb Dressel, somebody to watch. He really is, one, an unbelievable swimmer, two, the fastest starter by far. But you see him do a standing jump, and he has a higher standing jump than most of the NBA basketball players in America. He's absolutely phenomenal. I can't remember the numbers. I'll look it up for you, but amazing. Speaking of amazing, first 100 metres here in, what is that, lane number 2, is Gracie Owen of Torvine Dolphins. A really good first 100.
She's looking great. That was a fantastic first 100 for Gracie. And yeah, she's looking really strong. She's looking great. I hope she can hold on for the next 75, because if she does the 75 as she done the first 75, we're on for a good one.
Well, she looks like she's holding on well, but it's a tough part of the race this year, the third 50 of a 200 fly, particularly if you've gone out fast. She's got 50 metres to go, 1 length to go at this turn. The rest of the field maybe starting to catch up a little bit. Good around the wall, very fast around the wall. Head down on that first stroke as well. That's great discipline.
Yeah, definitely. She had a very good turn on that last one. She came out quite far ahead.
Well, she did, and charging 1 lane next to her is Matilda Ransom of University of Bath. Also going well right at the top there is Emily Toms of Crawley, but she's still hanging on, and she looked tired going down that third 50. But Gracie Owen done really well here from Torvine Dolphins' performance, very well indeed. And it looks like she's going to take the touch. She does, and the time is 2:20.32 from Gracie Owen, and that's a new lifetime best by another half a second. So again, if you don't do a lifetime best, you're not going to win a heat here at these 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. Very exciting for the sport, wonderful for British swimming, and that a very good heat swim. Heat 6 of 9 of the women's 200 fly, won by Gracie Owen of Torvine. So confirmation of the result then. Gracie wins it from Matilda Ransom second, Emily Toms third, Bethel of Wickham fourth, and Evie Young of Mount Kelly in fifth.
It was a very good swim from Emily Toms as well. I think she made it glided in a little bit on the finish. So that's definitely something she can take forward and work on. But it was a very, very good swim.
It's a tough ask to spot the finish at the end of a 200 metres butterfly, but you can change your stroke a little bit to make sure that your hands on a full stretch coincide with when they're touching the wall. So here we go, heat 7 of 9, the women's 200 fly. First of the seeded heats, Emily Richards, Manchester Performance, the fastest seed in 4, with Lucy Fox in 5. Edie Price in 3.
Take your marks.
Well, I'm very interested to see how this one goes, because Emily Richards, great 200 fly swimmer, and what a massive 12 months she's had. She had a shocking glandular fever going into the Olympic trials last year. Didn't swim anywhere near what she was hoping to, but then. What a change. She's married Matt Richards, she's moved to Manchester, and she says and looks fantastic here. Great first 50.
Yeah, I think Emily, even after glandular fever, she still came third and won a bronze medal in last year's British Championships in 200 fly. But yeah, she's looking great here. I think maybe glandular fever, as awful as it is at the time, it does, I guess, give you a chance to step back, reevaluate, and then when you get better, it gives you more.
Well, it certainly does. It gives you a lot more. And she looks very good here. She's nice and smooth down this first 100, working very hard. Talked to Matt very briefly yesterday, her husband, Matt Richards, double Olympic champion, Olympic silver medalist on the 200 freestyle. He's going later on this week, and he looks very good. And these two, I've got to tell you, super shape. Look what's happening here. Emily Richards looks very good indeed right in the centre. She's in 4, in 5, currently in second place, 4 times gold medalist at the National Championships last year, the Summer National Championships. That's Lucy Fox in 5. But these two, Emily Richards, looks like she's trying to make a bit of a statement here, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to Lucy Fox, I think also going back to what we were talking about, the 200 fly and distance freestyle. Last year in the British Summer Champs, Lucy Fox won gold in the 400 free, 800 free, 1500 metre free, and the 200 fly. So if she's doing all those this week, she's got a busy week ahead.
Well, she certainly does. She's got about 15 metres to go here as Emily Richards. And if she can keep this up, she's going to be pretty close to 210. Could she get under that? It's going to be a big ask, but she may well get close, you know. Head down inside the last... just glided in a tiny bit, 210.27. Well, I think that glide probably cost her the 209, but that's fine. It's a good swim. I think she'll be pretty happy with that. Get down to the 210 mark with a glide in. She can get much better. There's a scoreboard, and it's right at the other end of this arena, and you're talking about how big this arena is. It's the full length of the 50-metre pool, and then there's a full diving pool, and it's behind that, so it must be about 80 metres away.
Yeah, and trust me, from personal experience, when you finish a race, your eyesight's not exactly the best. So you really are straining to see that scoreboard.
Especially a 200 fly, but Emily Richards done very well. 210.2 wins it. Lucy Fox second, 213. With Mount Kelly's Edie Price in third, 214.2. So that's the first of the seeded heats. First of the 3 cycle seeded heats in this women's 200 fly. Laura Stevens, world champion, goes in lane 8. And this is the second last heat. I can imagine being world champion in 200 fly and not even being fastest seed coming into the championship. That's extraordinary.
It just shows the depth of 200 butterfly swimming women in Great Britain.
Certainly does. Laura Stevens in 4, the world champion. In 5 is Shannon Stott of City of Sheffield. 6 is Catherine Roberts of Swansea University. Abby Roscoe in 3. There's Laura in the black hat, the black suit.
Take your marks.
Second last heat. Heat 8 of 9 of the women's 200 fly. Very good underwater, using 13 metres of the 15 metres allowed. And, well, she just looks like... Am I allowed to say Darth Vader? She's all in black. She looks pretty mean. Certainly means business. So tough.
Yeah, definitely. It's intimidating for the other swimmers in the race, definitely. And Laura probably is one of the most experienced swimmers that is swimming this week. Laura was my teammate in the Tokyo Olympics. She was my teammate in the Paris Olympics. And she is a phenomenal athlete, Laura. And... a very, very strong athlete.
Well, world champion on this 200 metres butterfly, and it's fair to say that was one of the great female swims that I've seen in an awful long time from British swimmers. It really was a gutsy performance. Breathing every stroke, interesting on a 200 fly. Often the 200 flyers go every second stroke, but she's decided to breathe every single stroke. Fascinating way of doing it.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I guess, well, she's probably trying to get as much oxygen in her as she possibly could. Whenever I used to do 200 fly, which wasn't a lot, I used to breathe every other, and I always found in the last length I'd be breathing every one, because the more you breathe, I guess, but the more oxygen you bring to your muscles.
So why did you go 2s then? Why did you breathe 2s at the start?
I think just because you had all the energy, and the less you breathe, the flatter you are, so the more dynamic you are through the water. So I guess the more you breathe, you're lifting your head up, you're creating more resistance against that water.
Indeed, and she's a wonderful proponent of that, isn't she, here, Laura Stevens, turning it first with 50 metres to go. Just about the same time as Emily Richards did in that previous heat. Second behind is Shannon Stott in the red hat, and she looks good here from the City of Sheffield. These two quite a way out in front, but this is the part that just always I'm in awe of Laura Stevens. She's so tough, and this is so hard down this last 25 metres on 200 fly. She hangs so tough, keeps the stroke technique wonderfully well, finishes well, 2:10.6, just a tiny bit slower than Richards won that previous heat. But she'll certainly be in a centre lane in the final this evening, 3, 4 and 5, I'm sure of that. Laura Stevens winned it. From second is Shannon Stott, and Abby Roscoe in third. But the discipline down that last 50, really impressive.
Yeah, she looked great. And watching Abby Roscoe finish then, she probably finished a little bit too close to the wall. She didn't fully extend her stroke, so that's definitely something she can take in tonight.
Indeed, and don't forget Abby Roscoe, only 15 years of age, and she can qualify for the European Junior Championships. The standard time for them, the qualification time, 2:13.2. There's confirmation of the result of the second last heat. Women's 200 fly. Stevens win it from Stott second. There's Abby Roscoe. Well, 2:13.2 is the qualification standard for the European Juniors. She can do that. She'll have to go a lifetime best to do it. But so here we go. Kiana, right in the centre, the fastest seed, Kiana McInnes of the University of Stirling. Won the Olympic trials last year to go to Paris. And won 9th at the Olympic Games. Really tough event. Excellent summer. Little bit of a surprise that she won that trial last year, maybe, but she swam so well. Final heat, women's 200 metres butterfly. McInnes in 4, Schlossen in 5, Lucy Grieve in 3.
Take your marks.
7 juniors in this final heat of the women's 200 metres butterfly. It's, I'd just say, maybe it's a comment rather than necessarily, I don't know. Kiana McInnes winning that trial, the Olympic trials last year, a little bit of a surprise over Laura Stephen?
I think maybe. I think because Laura has been quite dominant in this event for such a long time. But, you know, anything can happen. As we saw last year, anything can happen in an Olympic year. It definitely changes the mindset of many athletes. You see it with Kieran Bird, as we spoke about earlier. But yeah, do you know, Kiana is a fantastic swimmer. I've been on a few teams with Kiana. She's a lovely person, but she is a phenomenal trainer. She's very headstrong.
Headstrong is an interesting expression. In terms of what can control her head, control her body, a mind controlling her body, is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, I think so. And I think when I talk about headstrong, I mean training for 200 fly. It's not an easy event to train for. You're doing a lot at the gym, you're doing a lot in the pool, and I think a lot of people, headstrong is mean you can get through it.
Tough.
Yeah, tough.
Well, you've got to be tough to do a 200 fly, and very good indeed. It's Laura Stephen just walking past us with a great big smile on her face, so clearly happy with that heat swim, winning the previous heat. And Kiana McInnes, well, she's not got it all her own way here. Kira Schlossen of Edinburgh University in 5, 1 lane closer to us in the black hat, and then at the top there Lucy Grieve as well, going well. But the red hat in the centre is the winner of the Paris Olympic trials from 2024.
Absolutely, and what we see with Kiana is she's very good on the last 50, and you know, even though she's in amongst the other swimmers now, I pretty much guarantee she's not going full out now. She's saving a lot for the final, so she's probably just, we might see her push ahead now in the last 25 just to kind of stretch out a little bit, but she's looking really, really good. Yeah, as we can see, she is really pulling away from the other girls now.
Yeah, she looks very good down this last 50 metres, and you know, she's going well, she's working well, she's working quite hard, I would suggest there. Head down in line side the last 5. I do love to see that discipline. And another 2:10, so there's 3 women on 2:10. In fact, 4, I think, was Schlossen second as well, so I think that might be fastest qualifier for the final there, just ahead of Emily Richards. Kiana McInnes winning the final heat of the women's 200 fly. 2:10.1. I think it was 2:10.2 won the third last heat. So it's going to be mighty close go. What a final that's going to be tonight. Can't wait for that one. Really very tight indeed. So confirmation of the result of the final heat, the women's 200 metres butterfly. McInnes wins it. Kiana McInnes second, Kira Schlossen. Great swims from them, both 2:10s. And Lucy Grieve will be in the final as well from the University of Stirling with a 2:11.78. Croxford may make the final. Certainly a junior finalist, I'm sure she will be, if not in the big final. So let's see the qualifiers. So there we go. Kiana McInnes just ahead of Emily Richards, with Laura Stevens, the world champion, in third. And what a final that's going to be. And Coco Croxford just missing out of the big final, but she'll be in the junior final and can qualify for the European Junior Championships this evening. What a final that's going to be. Just running through the full list here. Emily Toms of Crawley, that's page 4. There's the 41st to 50th place finish swimmers. And Team Bath there, Katie Baxter, 2:23.3. A huge number of swimmers, and we were talking about it earlier, the number of entrants in these events, up 15% on last year, but the qualification standard kept the same. So 15% improvement on the number of qualifiers. Over 1,000 swimmers is amazing, Sam.
That is amazing, and it's so great to see so many, because these qualification times, they are very hard. Even just to get to this competition, it's not an easy feat, and so it's so good to see that many people do it.
So next race up here is the men's 100 metres breaststroke, and you see on the right-hand side there the world record held by the fantastic Adam Peaty, set in Guangzhou at those World Championships. He's going to be here, but he's not going to be swimming. He's decided that even though he was pre-selected for the World Championships this year, I don't think he's going to swim in those either. I think he's going to take a year off. And delighted to see Paul Noble join us again for the first heat of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. This Paralympians in this first heat, Paul.
Yeah, there is maybe the biggest name in this one is someone who's based in the UK but not swimming for Britain. It's Leo McCree in the outside lane from Bournemouth College. So Leo McCree closest to us here in lane number 9. He's a Paralympic champion. His mum is from Switzerland, his dad is from the UK, and he chose to represent Switzerland and take a gold medal for the Swiss team in Paris. The Paralympians, of course, non-para swimmers in the centre lanes. Thomas Williams, Rhys Burns, Stanley Partridge. They're in the centre lanes, and they're stretching away from the Paralympic swimmers here. Cameron Burncoombe in lane number 6. Going well, he swims in the S14 class, remember again. S1 to S10, those for physical impairments. 11 to 13, those for visual impairments. And Cameron Burncoombe swims in the S14 class, swimmers with an intellectual impairment. So it's all about the points for the para swimmers trying to make that para final.
And indeed for the able-bodied here, Thomas Williams going very well in 3. Excellent swim from him. Lifetime best is 66.08. And he's going to be way in front of that. Look at that, 66.08. He's just gone 65.1. Very nearly missed out on the 65s. Great swim from him. So winning it is Thomas Williams, but some fantastic swims there as well from the Paralympic swimmers. Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Some good times. And there's Leo McCree with that Swiss cap. He won't be eligible to qualify for the final. Of course, it's the GB Aquatics final. And there is Leo in 1:33.92. What a fantastic swim that he had. He's swum in all the domestic events in Britain over the years. And he's did himself proud in his country, his mother's country of Switzerland, his country, to take that gold medal for the Swiss team. Bruce D also did well on the opposite side of the pool. He was the British record holder in lane 0. We shall wait for the points totals for those para swimmers as we see them later. One more para swimmer to come, Andy, just worth mentioning. The British record is maybe under threat for Harry Stewart, and he goes in a little bit later. Of course, it's combined para and able-bodied heats this time. It's a little bit different for these Aquatics GB Championships.
Indeed, some fantastic swims in that first heat, not least of which Thomas Williams winning, touching first. Excellent swim from him. Full second lifetime best on 100. Great to see. So there's confirmation of the result then. Thomas Williams wins it from Windsor. New lifetime best for him by a full second. But some great swims down there. Ryan Potter and Preston. And the para swimmers really very good indeed. It's fascinating to have the full integration here at these championships. all the way through. We don't have separate heats for the para swimmers and the able-bodied swimmers. It's all in. And it's producing some really great swimming. Not least of which that world record. What a great swim that was. Swim fly. Wow. Faye Rogers it was. So heats 2 of the men's 100 metres breaststroke, and very, very tight indeed on seedings. There's only 23 100ths of a second split the entire field, and right in the up there in lane number 2, it's Robson Miles of City of Glasgow, and he's looking very good indeed down this first 30 metres or so. But interesting to see how the centre lanes come back now. Sam Cornish started to come through in form.
Yeah, Sam had a very good first 50 there, and that's a very good turn from him as well. And we'll see how he comes out of this wall. Yeah, he was first up, but he's looking very strong. All these boys are.
A nice high recovery position, then really diving into that stroke.
Absolutely. So I think, I was not a professional breaststroker, but I think the higher you go, the more propulsion I guess, going into the next stroke you have.
Well, he's doing it very well indeed. Right in the centre there is Sam Cornish of Enfield Swimming Club. Also going well in 3 is Rhys Dodd of Bristol Penguins, and these two may well be Rhys Dodd taking over here. Oh, he's glided in a big old glide. Did he get the touch, Rhys Dodd? Not quite. In fact, I think it was in lane 5. Kim Sum Lu of City of Salford got the touch. Goodness me, what a tight finish that was. Well, 3 100ths split first and second, 66.00 to 66.03 for Rhys Dodds in second. Third was Robson Miles. There we go, confirmation of the result, but look at that. Well, a good finish, and look what happens. You can pit the others. Great swim there from Kim Sum Lu, Salford swimmer. Second, Dodd. Third, Miles. Fourth, Cornish. Fifth was Hall, and sixth, Spink. Heat 3 of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. I think we still got a Paralympic swimmer in, actually in Heat 5, another one still to come, so very well seeded. He's an S14. So Paul will be staying with us for that commentary. This Heat 3 of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. Charlie Rogers of Basildon Phoenix, the fastest seed, right in the centre in lane 4, but a very good start. The green hat closer to us, that's Cam White of University of Nottingham, and his first 25, the green hat closer to us, very powerful, very strong, big rangy lad.
Very, very strong. Yeah, he's looking great on the first 25. He's very high out of the water as well.
Well, he certainly is high out the water. Up there, look up there in lane number 1, 0 at the top, and Josh Mitchell Story of Orion Swim Club, really good second 25 and good around the wall as well. So lane 1, Josh Mitchell Story was first to turn, and he's holding on well here. Also going well right on the lane line with him is Ryan Mills of Middlesbrough. And I think Josh Mitchell Story, well, if he can hold on to this, he's going to go really well. His lifetime best 66.18. So if he can bring this back here, he can go a lifetime best 66.18. Oh, it's very close indeed. I can tell you it's 65.11. So a new lifetime best by a full second to win it. Great swim there from Josh Mitchell Story.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a fantastic last 25 there, and you can see his reaction on the wall. He is very, very happy with that swim, as he should be.
Absolutely right. A full second lifetime best. Well done, sir. That's the reaction we need at these championships. Look at that. Yeah. He's on telly. He's done a lifetime best. Mum's going to be happy. What's not to like?
Exactly. You know, these swimmers have worked so hard to get here, and to perform here is exactly what you've worked for.
Excellent swimming. And Ryan Mills went with him and went really well as well. So there's confirmation of the result then. Josh Mitchell Story wins it. A new lifetime best. An international swimmer, so won't be allowed to progress through to the finals. I don't think he'll bother those final places. There's still a good 6 heats to go. Heat 4 of 9 of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. Lane 0 is an international swimmer. That's Matti Radu, so he won't be allowed to progress through to the finals. It's just the British Championship finals. Great to see international swimmers included in the heats, though. Nobody swimming in lane 8, so that's Thomas Hamilton of City of Cambridge has withdrawn. So this is heat 4. Very much of a muchness, very even down this first 30 metres down, and it seems to take this second 25 and round the wall where they start making the move, the big guys.
Absolutely, but I just saw Saxon Minto has gone off very quick in this first 50, and I hope he can hold on for the second, because he's in for a good time if he can.
Cracking name as well, Saxon Minto in lane number 6 from Chelmsford City, 17-year-old, 29.7. The only guy, I think, under 30 seconds he was. In fact, he was about 0.7 ahead at that 50 turn.
Yeah, Saxon's got very good rhythm here. He's looking really good, and to be honest, he just looks as if he's speeding up.
And he is speeding up, and he's swimming away from the rest of the field. This is really impressive, very impressive indeed. I think he's his 16-year-old, and this is a great swim from him. What's he going to go? 63.1. Wow.
That was an excellent swim.
That's extraordinary. 65.8 was his lifetime best. He's just gone 63.1. There's some hooping and hollering in the crowd right behind us, and somebody's mum and dad must be utterly delighted. The family, I can see them. They're giving it the massive fist bumps to him. Utterly delighted. What a great swim that was.
So good, and he finished the race well. He finished very strong, and I'm so excited what he can do.
63.1 when your best time is 65.8.
Yeah, nearly 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Now, with breaststroke, you're looking forward, so you can't exactly see what's happening next to you. But he was great. It was great.
Well, it was a lifetime best for the swimmer in second place as well. 105.0. Best time was 105.7. Was Wilfred Lee of Millfield. So well done him. And well, we've waited a while, but the final para swimmer is in this, and it gets faster and faster. This is amazing. Harry Stewart in lane number 9. Fastest seed though is Sam Williamson of Bath in 4, with Josh Press of Stirling in 5. And Paul Noble still with us, 15 times Olympic medalist. Paul, what are you looking for here in from lane number 9? Harry Stewart, the S14.
Yeah, well, this is probably the first real chance that we see anyone have a crack at these qualification times. It's very, very tough across the board for the para swimmers to make the World Championship. 104.59 is the time we're looking for Harry Stewart. He's the European champion, and to make that 104.59, he's got to go inside the British and European record. That's the kind of standard we're looking for. Incredibly tough standard for Harry. 30.93 is at the back of the field, right closest to us as we look. And let's hope he can bring this back strongly. He's got a little bit of work to do, Andy.
Well, he certainly does. Going well in 5 is Josh Press of University of Stirling, and up in 3 as well as Ed Robinson of Chelsea Westminster. They're having a good year. Chelsea Westminster, very good indeed. And coming down this last 10 metres or so, Josh Press and Ed Robinson both looking very good. Also coming through is Vadim Bosk in lane number 2 of Loughborough University. Really close. Who got it? Bosk got the touch. Well, he came from nowhere inside that last 15 metres or so. Great swim from lane 2. The Loughborough University student, Vadim Bosk, wins it. Second was Josh Press of Stirling. Third was Ed Robinson. And poor Harry Stewart swam well. Here he is, 106.69.
Yeah, he's a newcomer to the GB team last year, went to Paris, made the final. He's a second outside the entry time there, 106.69 for Harry, so he's got to make a little bit of an improvement going to the final tonight, but we'll see him again in the para final.
We will. Vadim Bosk wins it. 103.7, super swim from him, a new lifetime best, a wonderful swim. Press second, Robinson third, and great swim from the S14. Well, he was in 9th place, but he'll certainly be in that para final this evening. So heat 6, the last of the uncycle seeded heats in the men's 100 metres breaststroke, and Ryan Griffith of City of Sheffield goes in lane 4 as the fastest seed. Wheeler in 5 of Chalfont, 6 is Hallett of Plymouth, Andrew Arthur of University of Aberdeen in 7. John Britton there in lane number 3. A wonderful swimming career he's had, and still going and going really well. Looking very good there. Good start from him down this first 15-20 metres or so in lane number 3, but probably the best start coming from lane 6 is Ronnie Hallett of Plymouth.
Yeah, Ronnie's looking really good. Do you think, because when you watch Adam Peaty swim the 100 breaststroke, he goes out like a rocket. How much influence do you think Adam has on these 100 breaststrokers?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, if I remember back to my early days, everyone has the heroes, don't they? I'm sure you had your heroes. It'd be interesting to see who yours was. But if you're a breaststroke, I mean, where on earth would you look in Great Britain apart from Adam Peaty? I tell you what, it's a very powerful chap up there in lane number 2. That's Carnell Nunes-Smith of City of Manchester, and he's interesting stroke, but my word, he's a powerful guy. Really is. Also coming back well in lane 7 is Andrew Arthur of University of Aberdeen Performance. And now the big guys in the centre starting to come back, and this is going to be very close. Who's going to get the touch? Is it 2? Oh, he's just got touched out. It's Andrew Arthur wins it in lane 7 from lane 2, Carnell Nunes-Smith. 3rd and 4 was Ryan Griffiths of City of Sheffield. But in the end, Andrew Arthur won it by 0.3. But middle guys came back so quickly there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So University of Aberdeen Performance, the winner, Andrew Arthur, 103.72. New lifetime best for him as well by 0.7 of a second from Carnell Nunes-Smith. I imagine a new lifetime best for him it is as well. Well done. Ryan Griffiths 3rd, Noah Wheeler 4th, John Britton in 5th. So now we have the first of the cycle seeded heats. The fastest 30 breaststrokers in Great Britain in these next 3 heats. And Greg Butler in lane number 4 goes in as the fastest seed. Oscar Bilbao in 6. Been training out in the States at Arizona State. Had a good year. Very interesting to see how he does, because he's just come straight off the American National Championships, Collegiate Championships, which is in the short course pool, so not easy to go from short course yards into long course meters so quickly. But he started well in lane 6 as Oscar Bilbao, also going really well as Greg Butler of Loughborough Performance Centre in 4.
Absolutely, Greg Butler is has got international experience in this event. But talking about coming back from short course yards to long course, going from short course meters to long course is hard, and it's because you've got half the turns, and the turn is sometimes the quickest part of the race, and so to go from yards, which is even more turns, to 50-metre pool is a tough challenge.
Yeah, it's not easy, but this is a great swim from Butler. Well, we'd love to see him go sub 60. The qualifying time is really tough. You can't do it in the heats here, but he can certainly have a crack and see if he can set it. 59.46 is the oh no, excuse me, it's what is it? It's 59.6, isn't it, for the 100 metres breaststroke? What did he just go there? That was a very good swim indeed from Butler, just outside the 60 seconds he was. Greg Butler wins it in 60.23. His lifetime best 60.03, so he had a crack, and I wonder if that's the warm-up that we will see him go sub 60 this evening. I'd love to see him go. The qualification standard for your World Championships in Singapore is 59.65, so he's just outside of that. Greg Butler. Bilbao 2nd, Dobson 3rd, Mitchell 4th, but certainly Butler will be through to the finals. I wouldn't be too surprised if Bilbao makes it as well, and maybe even Dobson. Heat 8 at the men's 100 metres breaststroke, and Max Morgan, a local boy from Reed's Swimming Club, in lane number 4. He's a big lad, he's very quick indeed as well. Can't wait to see what he can do here. European Junior gold medal in the mixed 4x100 medley relay, the breaststroker. GB Summer Championships gold medalist, 50, 100 and 200. He's in 4. Second last heat of the men's 100 metres breaststroke. And well, first up definitely was Rowan Smith, the red hat of City of Sheffield, up there in lane number 1. But the big guys right in the centre. In 3 is Riley of Cardiff, 4 is Morgan of Reeds, 5 is Dixon of University of Stirling, and 6 is Casey.
Yeah, it's great to see William Riley do this event, actually, because I know he's an excellent 400 IM swimmer, and so it's great to see him focus on maybe one stroke and definitely bring the meters down. It's also really exciting to watch Lewis Fraser, because I know Lewis as a teammate, and Lewis is an excellent butterfly swimmer, especially 100. But I think Lewis, as a young swimmer, he was always a breaststroker.
Well, Lewis Fraser is in lane 7 and he's going well, but really the 2 centre guys, beautiful stroke, wonderful stroke for Max Morgan in lane number 4, and just starting to bring it back on this second 50. Swam well down the first, but really started to wind it up. And how's he gone? He's gone to 60.86, so that's 2 guys on 60 now. The winner of the previous heat, Greg Butler, he went a 60.3, and Max Morgan's just gone 60.8. So that's 59.65 is a very tough qualification standard for these guys, but I think it's pretty much the first time we've seen 100 metres breaststroke at the National Championships in Great Britain with no PT and no James Wilby. What an opportunity for these guys in the final tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, like, these swimmers, we usually would be looking at PT to see how he swims and everything, but yeah, this is a perfect opportunity to see what they could win this week.
Well, he was Emerging Athlete of the Year in 2024, was Max Morgan, winner of that last heat. And he needs to emerge a little bit more if he's going to get that consideration time, the qualification time it is actually for the Singapore World Championships later this summer. Don't forget, though, there's a spot in that medley relay to come, and it doesn't guarantee you a place, but gives you a cracking chance of making the team, even if you don't do the qualification standard. It doesn't guarantee you a slot, but there is Archie. Archie Goodburn, the fastest seed in lane number 4, and this is the final heat of the men's 100 breaststroke with Philip Navacki of Milfield in 5. Harrison of Sheffield in 6, with Alex Mayer of Stirling in lane number 3. But Goodburn, well, he is the quality of this field. Also really good start was Elliot Woodburn of Kendal in 7.
I was just about to say that. He caught my eye when he dived in, then he was quite far in front very early on then, I guess. Very good underwater technique.
It was excellent underwater. Be good to see what he does underwater to get so well. But right in the centre now, it is Goodburn. And I know these guys will be having a go at the sub-60 if they can. Why not have a crack at it early and just to test yourself out here? Nice high stroke. The black hat right in the centre there of Archie Goodburn of Edinburgh University.
There's a good race going on here between Archie and Ben Harrison.
Well, he's looking good, yeah, in the centre there. It is Archie Goodburn, Navacki in 5, Woodburn in 7. And it's these 3 guys, 4, 5 and 7, Woodburn, Navacki. But there we go, Goodburn gets it. I think he does, yes. So another 2 60 points. Very good indeed, and a 61 1/3. So that was a fast heat. Still the fastest, though, was the winner of the first of the cycle-seeded heats. And it was Gregory Butler, so he'll go into the finals fastest. But a really good swim there from Archie Goodburn. Did the job. Can we see a sub-60? No PT, no Wilby. What an opportunity to go to the World Championships. Very, very good indeed. Goodburn wins the final heat, men's 100 metres breaststroke. In 60.56, Navacki second, Woodburn third. And those top 3, well, they'll certainly be going through there. Look at that. Woodburn third in the final heat, goes through 5th fastest. So it's Butler, Goodburn, Navacki, Morgan, Woodburn, Dixon, Bilbao and Inglis. What a final. And can they go sub-60? And who is going to be the new British champion on the 100 metres breaststroke? And if you think about the names that have been British champion on 100 breaststroke, you're going to add your name to that list. Wow. Of course, there's the junior finals and there's the B finals still to be selected as well. So the A final will take the fastest 8 swimmers. And then after those, including any juniors that go in the A final, the next 8 fastest juniors will be in the junior final. And the next fastest non-juniors will be in the B final. So there's great opportunities for 30 swimmers to be swimming this evening, and so important to get another swim tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, so many things can change in the final. When the atmosphere hits, you can see different swimmers. Absolutely, you can change into a different swimmer when you're swimming in that final.
Well, that's very impressive indeed. It really is. Great to see. Archie Goodburn looking very good indeed. Just walking past, he's a big boy, isn't he? Look at that, flipping out. He's strong. He really is. So that's going to be a cracking final. Can't wait for that one. Women's 200 metres freestyle, and Jo Jackson still got the British record. Back from, well, that was a 400 metres time, that 4 minutes, but she's a super swimmer, she is. She was. Jo Jackson still got the British record for freestyle. So heat 1 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. We've got able-bodied and we've got power swimmers in here. Some pretty good power swimmers too. Bronze medalist at the Paralympics in S14s in lane 3, 4th in lane 6. The full lineup though on this first heat of the women's 200 metres freestyle. Georgia Sheffield is in lane 2 for Bolton. 3 is Louise Felix, the S14. 4 is Alicia Lowe of City of Leicester. 5 is Evie Mackey of Lanark. 6 is Olivia Newman Baronius of Maxwell, the Olympian, and then 7th Sienna Oxby. Going off pretty quickly down this first 50 metres or so is in lane 5 Evie Mackey of Lanark, and she's first to turn and looking good. We've joined again by Paul, and Paul, some great power swimmers in this first heat as well.
Yeah, a real strength event for the GB team in this S14. Very strong class, the S14 class. Swimmers with an intellectual impairment, and we've had a really good record over the years. The S14, especially the women, have really dominated over the last maybe 3 Paralympic Games. Also very, very strong in terms of the relay team. All mixed relays in the Paralympic Games. And the British women have always been a real strength. And Olivia Newman-Baronius, she was one that really came to the fore at the trials last year. And she was a member of that gold medal winning relay team. But a good chance for her to try and make a qualification standard. We haven't had one yet, but I wonder if Olivia can just dip under the standard. Very fast again, 2:08.55.
Well, Olivia is 1 lane closer to us from the leader. The leader is Evie Mackey of Lanark, and she goes into the final turn with about 3 metre lead from Alicia Lowe of City of Leicester. And then the para swimmers, well, it's all very tight indeed from position, and they're all S14s. So in actual fact, we can normally say, well, it doesn't really matter, it's just against their own category time, but they're all S14s, Paul.
They are in this one. Looks like a good swim from Evie Mackey. She's going to be into the wall first, as you can see in that picture, followed by Alicia Lowe. Let's keep an eye on the clock for these para swimmers. Georgia Sheffield having a great finish there in lane number 2. Mackey touches the wall first in 2:08.33, followed by Lowe. And 2:11 for Georgia Sheffield wins the battles of the S14, just outside the qualification standard for Georgia Sheffield. She's a swimmer who's been absolutely on fire. She missed selection for Paris, but she's come out fighting. And she's had some great swims in the last 6 months, Andy. So well done to Georgia Sheffield. 1 to Evie Mackey, 2:04 for Evie Mackey. And that's a big improvement on her entry time. Great stuff from Evie.
Well, it's been a really impressive 2025 Aquatics GB Championships so far across the board. Evie Mackey wins the first heat of the women's 200 metres freestyle. Alicia Lowe second, and then look at that, 4 S14s all in a row. A couple of 2:11s, a couple of 2:12s. And heat 2 of 10 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. And Poppy Maskell in lane 8, the S14, another S14. 3 times Olympic gold medalist in Paris. So won this, the 200 metres freestyle, but the fastest seed is Kerry Henney of City of Liverpool in lane number 4. That was Poppy Maskell, 20-year-old flag bearer at the closing ceremony of the Olympic Games, the Paralympics. She's an 8. Heat 2 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. Kerry Henney of the City of Liverpool, the fastest seed. Philida Britton in lane number 5, a brother just from the 100 metres breaststroke. And in 6, it's Rebecca Coogan of Thurrock. And going down this first 25, 30 metres or so, well, it's all pretty even. Kerry Henny maybe just leading, but it's pretty tight. Also going well in lane number 7. It's Grace Greenhalgh of Norwich. But Paul, Poppy Maskell started well in lane 8, just one lane from the bottom in that black suit.
Yeah, she went out pretty fast. Poppy, she's Great Britain's most decorated Paralympian in Paris with 3 gold medals and 2 silvers. And as you said, she was rewarded with that, with carrying the flag at the closing ceremony. Again, one of the Paralympic swimmers that took a little bit of a break after those games, which were in September last year. She's just getting back into it, so it's a tough ask again. 2:08:55 the entry time, the qualification time, I should say, that they're going to make it. Greenhalgh leads them through though, Andy. 1 minute 0.04 at the front of the field. Maskell has got to try and hang on here.
There it is. Grace Greenhalgh in lane number 7 of City of Norwich, and she's gone off well. And now starting to make a move right in the centre is Kerry Henny of the City of Liverpool, and going well with her is Phillida Britton as well. So starting to become quite a battle right in the centre here. And first over, it looks like it is still Grace Greenhalgh of Norwich. Very rangy stroke. High elbow on the recovery, breathing to her right-hand side. You can see the whole field here. And she's going well. Coming back very quickly indeed in lane number 4 is Kerry Henny of the City of Liverpool. This is a great swim from her. And these two now, where it looks like the momentum is with Kerry Henny right in the centre, just starting to overtake. And this is a very good swim indeed. And her lifetime best, 2:06.90. Well, that's going to be a massive lifetime best. 2:06.9. 2.5 seconds. Well done, Kerry Henny. Well, if you know Kerry Henny, send her a text message. Congratulations. Andy Jameson says that was outstanding. I bet Mum and Dad are delighted. Absolutely delighted. Poppy Maskell, Paul, seemed to go out pretty quickly. I wonder if she paid for that early pace. Yeah,
she looked to fade in the closing stages, but again, she'll have another chance in the final. You quite often find that with the S14 swimmers. There's Maskell there, 2:14.17. It's 10 seconds almost behind Kerry Henny, winner. But that was a sensational swim from Kerry Henny, with Greenhalgh and Holly Marshall the top 3 in that second heat. Maskell will be back again for the para final later on. Let's hope she can dip under that time she's looking for qualification.
Well, all S14s, it's going to be a cracking final that this evening. Thank you, Paul. Paul himself, 15 times Paralympic medalist. Heat 3 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. Fastest seed is Alice Forrest of Northumberland and Durham Performance in 4, with Jasmine Hall of Basildon and Phoenix in 5. Coach again, a great Olympian, Dougie Campbell. Started very well in 7 though, is Emma Price of Northumberland and Durham Performance. 2 swimmers from that club in this heat, in lanes 4 and 7. And Emma Price gone off very well down in 4, also going well right in the centre there, maybe in lane 3. Is Emma Crocker, but first the turn is Emma Price in 7.
Yeah, I wonder if Alice and Emma, well, they would be training partners, wouldn't they? So I can imagine they're going to be looking at each other throughout this race, and they know exactly how they swim it. So, but this is a fantastic first 75 from Emma Price. She's looking very strong.
Dan, if you come to a championships like this, and you've been training with a training partner, you know, all year, would you prefer to be in a heat with your training partner, or would you prefer to be on your own and separate and you can just swim your own thing?
It didn't make a difference to me. Even if my best mate was in the lane next to me, it wouldn't really make a difference. I kind of forget. You know, they're good friends outside the pool and everything, but as soon as we get in that water, they're not friends anymore. They're competition.
Dan Jervis.
It sounds brutal, doesn't it?
Rock and roll. I didn't realise you were that... like Pac-Man. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that is sport. I mean, you know, friends are great, but when you come to a competition like this, you're not here to make friends, you're here to win.
You don't have to justify it to me, that's okay. Well, good first 150 here. Very good indeed. That's Madison Emmett of Repton up there in lane number 1, and she's going very well. She swam well to the 100 and then really picked it up on this second 100, and this is very good swimming from her. Breathing to her left, she can see what the rest of the field are doing. And lane 1 there, it is Madison Emmett with a lifetime best of 2:06.84. At least it was 2:06.84. Look at that, 2:04.5. Goodness me, 2.3 second lifetime best.
Over a 2 second PB in the morning, that is fantastic. I don't know what Madison has got coming up this week, but that is a very, very good start to the week for her.
Well, it certainly is. That's a cracking swim. And Repton, a new school programme. I think actually Mr. Peaty's going to be training there as well going forward, isn't he?
Yeah, I think I've heard that, yeah.
So there's confirmation of the result of Heat 3 of the Windston Freestyle. Madison Emmett from Repton wins it by 0.6 of a second almost from Emma Price in second. Third was Forrest, fourth Hinton, Hall, Crocker and Forward, and fifth, sixth and seventh. Ten heats of this women's 200 metres freestyle, and we've got a world champion, British world champion, coming up in the final heats. Not in this event though, Freya Colbert, medley swimmer, but how versatile is she? Fantastic 200 freestyler. This is heat 4. Ava Cook of City of Sheffield goes in lane 4 as the fastest seed, with Iris Hurst in lane 5. Mischenko of Aberdeen in 6. Christina Schultz of Mount Kelly in lane number 3. So it is heat 4, it's starting to heat up. And again, I wonder what the stats are on lifetime best to win a heat. I think we might have had one early on where there wasn't a lifetime best, but after that, it must have been, what, 30-odd heats so far, and every single one's been won in a lifetime best at these 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. And it's really a testament to the way that Aquatics GB has put on these meets and is really focusing on making sure that fast swimming happens at the championships.
Absolutely. This is where you want to swim fast, and there's a lot of pressure at these meets. You know, there's a lot of people watching, there's a lot of people watching back home, and sometimes pressure is amazing, but sometimes it can affect you in a negative way. And it's so great to see so many people at this championships already using that adrenaline, using those nerves for the positive.
Yeah, it's an interesting one as well, isn't it? Because if the nerves affect you a little bit negatively, trying to take that and learn from it and turn it into the positive, you must have worked a massive amount, because you said you were a little bit of a nervous swimmer, to make sure those nerves are used for positive effect rather than negative effect. So important.
Absolutely. You know, nerves affected me right throughout, even to the last race of my career, you know, and if I'm completely honest with you, Andy, I didn't really how can I describe this? Nerves did affect me in a negative way, you know, and thinking back now, I think to myself, oh, I wish I'd done that, and
Really, you still feel that?
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't come over. I mean, when you're eating up the swimmers like you're playing a Pac-Man game and you just start their feet and just gobble them up and, you know, go and win the gold. It seems like you absolutely were completely on it. Let me just pick up on this. We'll pick up on that in a second, but this race really going well right in the centre is Ava Cook of Sheffield in the red hat. Also going well in lane 7, the blue hat of East Lothian's Zara Kaviec. And this is going to be a very, very tight finish. It is. Oh, it's just gone. Very close indeed. By 12/100ths of a second, Ava Cook wins it. Kaviec of East Lothian in second, with Willow Harrison of City of Sheffield in third. So Sheffield first and third. Impressive swim, 2:05.47. Another lifetime best by another quarter or another half a second.
Absolutely. You know, I know Ava quite well, actually, because Aquatics GB now and again run these distance swimming camps, and I've been on them, and I've been on them with Ava, and so I've seen what she's training like, and she's a very, very good trainer. Headstrong, as we were talking about earlier. But looking here now in the GB Summer Championships 2024, she's a very versatile freestyler, so she came 6th in the 200 free, 5th in the 400 free, and she won bronze in both the 800 and the 1500 metre freestyle. So
yeah, she's tough. Great to have the superstar senior swimmers swimming with the up-and-coming youngsters. Here's heat 5 of 10 of the women's 200 freestyle. Phoebe Arbuckle, the fastest seed, in lane number 4. And next to Phoebe in 5 is Ella Smith, and in 3 is Hannah Hodgkiss of Repton. Lucy Parsons of Liverpool in 2, with Chloe Bowen, Mount Kelly in 1. 14-year-old Elizabeth Warner of Leeds in 7. So I remind you, this not only the trial for the World Championships in Singapore, it's also the trial for the World Championships in Singapore, both later this summer. It's also a trial for the European Junior Championships, and you've got to be born 2007 to 2011 to qualify for that. And then there's also European under-23s with 2002 to 2006 born to qualify for that. And if you swim well at the European Juniors, you've got to get selected for it, and then a team will be selected from that meet to go to the World Junior Championships. There's also the European Youth Olympic Festival. And as Dan was saying earlier, so important to try and get yourself on those teams as a junior and learn from those things. Go and swim against the internationals, and there's some really quite go and swim against the Italians and the Germans and the Swedish. Some of them are monsters, and you need to go, well, actually, I can beat them. Great start here from lane number 1. That's Chloe Bowen of Mount Kelly. Very quick, and look at this, great turn and working the third 50 already.
Absolutely. Even from the start, I noticed Chloe was the first off the block. She had an amazing reaction time. Straight away, she's ahead of the field, and she just keeps pulling away. She looks great.
Well, her lifetime best is actually a couple of seconds faster than the rest of this field, 2:03.1. She's gone off very well indeed down this first 150. And breathing to her left and then straight away to her right. So let's hope, and a good breath off the wall, but good kick off the wall as well. And it looks like she's starting to charge. This is great to see.
Absolutely, it's exciting to see. And yeah, like, you know, breathing off the wall straight away isn't ideal, but, you know, when you're 150 metres into a race and you are exhausted, then not breathing is easier said than done. But that's something that she can take forward into tonight.
Well, certainly one little area that she can improve on, but improving on this, it's going to be tough. And this is a great swim, 2:03.1 lifetime best, and she's just gone 2:02.7, so it's happened again. And she's won the heat by quite a long way as well, almost 2 seconds. That's a very good swim indeed from Chloe Bowen of Mount Kelly. That's excellent. So Bowen wins it from Lucy Parsons in second. Third was, I think, Phoebe Arbuckle of lane number 4 from Warrender. There we go, confirmation of that result. So it's Bowen from Parsons from Arbuckle. The Derby swimmers in international, so will be excluded. The E on the right-hand side is excluded from the finals. Can't be considered for the finals. It's a British only at this British trial. Great to see them here, though. Great to see them invited. And Maxwell, Hodgkiss, Murphy, Burlat, Warner, a 14-year-old. Heat 6 of 10, women's 200 freestyle. Jessica Dickinson of Swansea University goes in 4, with Hum of Rushmore in 5. Alicia Massey in 6. There's a name for you in lane number 3, Dan.
Kerrish Griffiths from Pembrokeshire County Swimming.
So it's heat 6 of 10. 5 heats left in this women's 200 metres freestyle. Very, very even down this first 25 metres, and again, easy speed so important at the start of these 200 metres races.
Absolutely, as we've said so many times this morning, you do not want to burn out too early in the race, because if you burn it out at the beginning, you've still got to finish the race, you know, and it is quite demoralising even if you're quite far ahead and you can see the people in your race slowly catching up and there's nothing that you can do about it. That's very demoralising.
And working hard for the speed or working as easy as possible for the speed are two very, very different things. And you may well feel, I guess, that working hard gives you that raw speed down the first 25, but to save it, Dan, for that last bit, you pay so much. But certainly, again, that you were talking earlier on about this phase now, this halfway turn, and then going on the third 50.
Yeah, definitely. And something that maybe I used to find was sometimes the harder you push, not necessarily the quicker you go. Sometimes the more you relax you are, the more you focus in about the length of your stroke, and the longer you are in the water, the more dynamic you are through the water, and the quicker overall you are.
Indeed, and again, fascinating that you split these 200s up into quarters, so the first 50 and then get to the 100 and go, but you split your 1,500 metres freestyle into thirds, 500, 500, 500, which I find fascinating. Well, we'll just focus on this for the moment, but maybe pick up that in a second. And going really well up there in lane number 2, 3 from the top is Libby Broder of the City of Cardiff, but trying to catch her now is Lois Child of Harrogate, 1 lane up.
Absolutely. I think 200 free, everyone splits it up differently, but I think the first 50 kind of does itself because you've got the momentum from the dive.
Also a battle in the centre here, maybe starting to take over in 6 is Alicia Massey of University of Surrey Swim Club with Kennedy Denby in 7. And it looks like these two very close indeed. It is Massey from Denby in 6 and 7. Great last 50. They certainly weren't leading with 50 to go, but that's very good indeed. So Alicia Massey from Kennedy Denby, University of Surrey from City of Sheffield with Harrogate District's Lois Child in 3rd. There we go, there's confirmation of the result, 105.21 for the winner. Again, well, I say it every time, I hope you don't get bored. Another lifetime best to win the heat. It's so great to see and really exciting for British swimming. So that's heat 6. This is heat 7 of the women's 200 metres freestyle. Scarlett Orchard up there in 0 with Renfrew in 1, Tyers in 2, Potter in 3, fastest seed in lane number 4, Drew Nellie McKenzie, Hannah Capron of Repton in 5. It's heat 7 of 10. It's the last of the uncycle seeded heats in the women's 200 freestyle. And a very good start in lane number 5. Very long rangy stroke from Hannah Capron of Repton. Love the start there, the black hat right in the centre. And again, Dan, if you stop the race right now, she hasn't really put too much effort in so far. She's won it by about half a second. Yeah,
exactly. As I said earlier, the first 50 of a 200, I feel as if it kind of completes itself. But yeah, the race over the next... even the next 20 metres after that first 25 can change dramatically.
Lovely long rangy stroke of the leader. Look how far she stretches out at the front of the stroke. A little bit Dan Jervis-esque, I'd say. What do you think? Is that similar to yours?
Thank you very much. But yeah, she's looking very long in the water. As we said earlier again, that she looks about 9 foot tall, which is good. The longer you are in the water, the more efficient you are through the water. Effectively, the faster you go.
Well, it's great to see. She's got a lovely stroke right in the centre, and you certainly can't win the race in the first 50, but you can certainly lose it. And nice easy speed down that first 100. We're now at 125 metres, so 75 to go. Maybe about 65 now. And right up there in lane number 1, Catherine Renfrew of Perth City, starting to come through and looking good. Who's going to be over first? It's very tight indeed, 3 of them, and they're spread all across the pool. In 3 it's Potter, 1 is Renfrew, 7 is Craig, and 5 is Capron. And what a charge now coming in here in lane number 3. This is amazing from Matilda Potter.
Absolutely. Look at the stroke rate on her. She's flying down this last 50, and you can tell she's really pushing. She's really putting in the effort on this last one.
Well, she's definitely doing Dan Jervis here. She's finishing like an absolute train. Wonderful to see. Well done, Matilda Potter. I wonder if she can go a little bit earlier, because that's a great swim. It really is. The 17-year-old goes 2:03.16, and that is 1.1 second lifetime best from Matilda Potter of City of Leeds. A great swim from her on this 200 metres freestyle. It's not her best event, and she's just done a 1 second lifetime best. That's a cracking swim.
Absolutely. And in that event then, as we saw, the last 50, she was charging down the pool. So she's probably going to think to herself after that race, I had so much energy on that last length, I can go a bit earlier later, and that's where the PBs fall again.
Well, you're absolutely right, Dan. She's just gone 1:03.1. I wonder what she could do if she went a little bit earlier. Not too much, certainly not off the start, because we're definitely a proponents of easy speed. But if she went a little bit, when would you say to maybe pick it up a little bit more?
Well, I saw a massive difference in her stroke then from the final turn, so I would probably pick it up from 75 to go.
Well, there we go. And here, look at this, Freya Anderson. Fastest seed in this. There she is, the black hat of Freya Anderson. She's moved these training programs, and she looks very happy. She looks very fit. I think she's only relatively recently come back, so after a good layoff after the Olympics. Holly Hibbert in 5, Willows in 6. What a heat this is. So Rebecca Sutton in 0 from Swansea. 1 is Emily Smith. 2 is Holly Baker. 3 Jemima Hall. 4 is Freya Anderson, Olympic champion from that mixed medley relay from Tokyo where she swam the heats. Hibbert in 5. 6 is Holly Widows of Mount Kelly. 7 Shirley Robinson of Sheffield. Maisie Guilford in 8. And Sophie Ben of Mount Kelly closest to us in lane number 9.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we see in Freya Anderson, who's doing 2 events this week. She's doing 200 free now, and she's got 100 free later on in the week. And we should say Freya Anderson MBE, as you just said, she is Olympic champion in the relay. Also Holly Hibbert, so she's doing 200 free now. She's got 400 free and 100 fly coming up later this week. So she's looking probably to put a good swim in this morning to see how she's going to do the rest of the week.
I do love watching Freya Anderson swim, and the rest of them right with her. But first to turn, I think it was Freya. Yes, it was 58.7. Second, well, very close indeed, was 58.8. That was Jemima Hall in lane number 3. But as you said earlier, Dan, once they get to the halfway mark, the big guns go. And she's tried to make a move here, Freya Anderson. She's not broken them, but she's made a move, certainly.
Yeah, she's definitely not broken them. You can see that with Holly Hibbert and Jemima Hall. They're hanging on very strong. And also going very strong is number 7, lane 7.
Well, lane 7 is Shirley Robinson of City of Sheffield. And she looks good. But look at these 3 in the middle here. It is in lane 3, Jemima Hall. In 4 is Freya Anderson. In 5 is Holly Hibbert. And if Freya hasn't been back that long, she's doing really well to hang in here.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see as well, Freya's breathing every 4 strokes. So usually at the end of the race, as we said earlier, the more you breathe, the more oxygen she needs. So she's obviously feeling very comfortable.
So 4 metres to go, and it looks like, oh, who's got the touch? Very close indeed. Hibbert gets it, 2 minutes point 33. From 2 minutes point 37 is Jemima Hall, and 2 minutes point 47 is Freya Anderson. So 14 100ths of a second split the top 3. Hibbert from Hall, from Anderson. But I'm pretty sure all those 3 will go through. A bit of a dangerous place to finish 3rd in a heat with 2 big heats still to come, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I mean, we'll see how the final 2 heats go. But it's a very good time, nevertheless.
Well, very close indeed. Look at that. 4 100 split the first 2. 14 100 split the first 3. Hibbert from Hall, from Anderson. Fascinating to see who makes this final, because there's now going to be quite a few swimmers watching that race going, I can make this final. You go under 2 minutes, you can make the final. Plenty of swimmers are going to feel they can do that here. Abby Wood, fastest seed. Phoebe Cooper's great. Schlossen's very good. Evie Davis can do it. Needs some PBs, but if you're going to do a lifetime best, you can do it here and make the final and knock out some big guns. Second last heat, women's 200 freestyle. Abby Wood, the fastest seed, right in the centre.
Take your marks.
So very quick down this first 20 metres or so. It is Abby Wood, and technically very good. We saw her in the International Swimming League, and she came through to the 4. I was a little bit surprised, if I'm honest. I probably shouldn't be, but it was the technical elements, the starts and the turns that she was absolutely outstanding on. Worked really well with the coach, Dave Hemmings, And very, very good indeed. Let's see the centre lane here, how good she is underwater. Well, she's done it again. Look at that. The light coloured suit in lane 4. Very good light blue suit.
Yeah, she was the last one coming up off the turn there. And as we spoke about earlier, the longer you're underwater, the more dynamic you are, the faster you are. So Abby's looking really good here. You know, Abby is such a talented swimmer. She's doing the 200 free now. She's got the 100 free to come, the 200 AM and the 400 AM. So they are not easy events. But she's looking great.
Well, she is looking very good. Let's have another look at this turn. Longest underwater again, 4, 5, 6 kicks. And that's a very good turn indeed. Now what's going to happen, because the big guns will go, and Leah Schlossen from Manchester Performance, what a training group they've got there. And she's looking very good in that black hat in the centre of these 3 leaders. So on the far side of these 3 leaders, it is Abby Wood. Abby Wood in those yellow lane lines at the top of that, those yellow line lines. Maybe first to turn, maybe it's Leah Schlossen in 4 and 5. It is by 1/100th. So Schlossen from Wood, from Davis, Evelyn Davis in 6.
Yeah, you can see now that Abby's really pulling ahead. She's looking great, and next to her, Leah Schlossen is also holding on.
Well, Abby's just worked the first 25 of this last 50. Looks like she's she's breathing full. She's working it hard. A little breath there, just inside the last 5 metres, but that's good. 2 minutes 0.03, 2 minutes 0.02 first and second, and then Evie Davis 2 minutes 0.7. So I think that makes. Oh, she's 6th, Evie Davis now, with 1 heat, a bigger heat, the fastest heat still to come, or in theory, the fastest swimmer still to come. But a good swim, 2 minutes 0.3. Probably not quite as quick as we expected the heats might be, but it's so close, so tightly bunched up. 2 minutes 0.3 wins it, 4/100ths back. Very similar to that previous heat. Wood from Schlossen, from Evie Davis, from Amy Monks. Phoebe Cooper's in there. Well, very, very close at the top. So the final heat now, they know exactly what they've got to do. If you can go 2 minutes very low, under 2 minutes 0.3, I think you make the final.
Would you like to know?
I would love to be in the final heat, knowing that all I've got to do is do a really good time and I'm going to make it. I mean, if the times are super fast, then you go, oh my goodness me, but they're not that fast. There is world champion Freya Colbert, 400 medley. One of 2 female world champions we've got at the moment. Laura Stevens, the second one on the 200 fly. Colbert's in 4. Lucy Hope's in 5. So certainly the top 3 fastest seeds in this heat, capable of going faster than the fastest swims so far. So this will be very interesting indeed. Dan, you asked me whether I'd like to be in this final heat. Would you prefer to be in the final heat, or setting the times to be beaten in one of those earlier 2 of the 3 final heats?
To be honest, I'd probably prefer to be in one of the earlier heats. I'm going to contradict myself a bit now. I liked being in amongst the race, but I also did like to be quite far ahead, because that meant I could kind of forget about the other athletes in the race and just focus on myself. And I swam best when I literally just felt as if it was me in the water.
Wow, that's fascinating. It really is. Well, it's a good first 90 metres here from Freya Colburn. Of course, she's world champion on the 400 medley. Missed the 200 freestyle, so versatile. She's got a... Wow, what a turn that was. My word, she took about half a metre off the rest of the field.
She looks great. Freya's looking great right here. And Lucy Hope's looking amazing as well. Lucy Hope's an amazing 100 freestyler.
Well, she is a great 100 freestyler, so this is good for her 100, the 200. She's got a good 200 in her. You'd think she'd have a good 100 in her.
Absolutely, yeah. She has. Lucy went to both Olympics, Tokyo and Paris, in the 100 freestyle.
And of course was on the 4x100 free relay as well, so she's a great sprint freestyler. I've not seen her swim quite as good a 200 freestyle as this for a while, but she is a great 200 freestyle. 157.6 is a lifetime best. Now, what's going to happen here? Because it's very tight, making this final. Pretty important that they do a fast swim here, get under, if they can get under 2 minutes. And anyone under 2 minutes is going to make the final. Fascinating last 5 now. Head down for Colbert. And is she going to go sub 2? She does. 1:58.6. 3 sub 2. The fourth one, Megan Barnes, has gone 2 minutes 0.5. I think the top 4 will be the fastest 4 into the final.
Yeah.
Certainly in the final, top 4, in which case some big guns will miss out.
Yeah. Tonight's final is going to be so close. I think within they're all within 0.7 of a second. In a 200 free, that's very close.
It really is. And how many are low 2 minutes points? I mean, 4th in that last heat. That's why, Dan, I wanted to be in the last heat. Get in there. You know what you've got to do. Get in amongst it. Fight. 4th is going to be possibly 4th or 5th into that final. 2 Mount Kelly swimmers there. Very good indeed for Emma Little and Megan Barnes. Colbert looked good, 1:58.6. So who's made it and who hasn't? Here we go. Wow. Freya's just missed by 1/10 of a second. She is only just back, so she has plenty of time to get fit again. But wow, just missed out on that final. She's got the 100 still to come, but Colbert fastest in, then Hope, Little, Wood, Barnes, and 4 from that final. Amazing in the top 5. And then, of course, there's B finals, there's junior finals. Very important, if you can, to get a lane in one of those 3 finals, the A final, the B final and the junior final tonight. Have another crack and see what you can do in the evening.
Absolutely. And I know it's only in the morning, so we'll see a more clear picture tonight, but how exciting is this, Andy, for the women's 4x2 in Singapore?
Well, it really is. We've just actually got Lucy Hope, who's got the biggest smile on her face. She looks fantastic. She really does look very, very fresh indeed. So that's impressive. And Freya Colbert's just about to walk past us as well. Looking very good indeed. Well, she's got a big smile on her face. Excellent. Freya Colbert walking past us. What do you reckon? Just body language there. What do you reckon, Dan? She was giving you the smile?
Yeah, she looks great. It does make me laugh. I love sitting here because we literally have the best seats in the house, and I know all of them. So I'm waving past. So if I go quiet, it's because I'm saying hello. I need to like bring it down a little bit.
Oh, fanboy here.
I am. I'm a big fan of all these swimmers, even though I swam with them. You know, I know them as teammates.
Well, what a fantastic first morning of heats we've had here at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. We got finals at 6 o'clock, the B finals at 6 o'clock this evening. And then 6:45 with Betty in the studio for the preparation and the revving up for those finals at 7 o'clock. So join us at 6 o'clock for the B finals. Then there'll be a little bit of a gap. And then there'll be the A finals and the junior finals at 7. So 6:45 that start there for Betty. Alrighty, see you this evening. Have a great afternoon.